Episode 124 of the Wilderness Podcast is brought to you by our Patreon supporters. Support the show at patreon.com/the Wilderness Podcast. Our supporter of the week is Hugo. We're also brought to you by Audible. Get a free month and a free audiobook at audibletrial.com/wild. Welcome to episode 124 of the Wilderness Podcast. I'm your host, Dills, and with me is Deegan.
Hey, how's it going?
A little bit of a quieter week. We got a dev blog talking about the update to the treasure trails and some of the rewards that will come with that. And the dev blog trickling in some more quality of life. As for community chatter and some interesting techniques that comes with playing an Ultimate Iron Man account. After all of these new series have started, these area-restricted Iron Men and Ultimate Iron Men, many content creators started making videos on some of the techniques that the majority of the player base might not be aware of. So, might be fun to talk about, because I know I've learned quite a bit this week after watching a bunch of that stuff. And then Deegan's got some interesting news.
Yeah, I'm having a kid. No.
That's for community chatter. No, it's kind of an interesting topic, but that's as much of a teaser you'll get, I guess. We'll dive into that in a bit.
Borderline, it's like breaking news / conspiracy /
Deegan busted out his journalistic skills and dived into a black market of some sorts. Am I overhyping it?
Yeah, that's really clickbaity. Put it as the title, ship it, we're good.
Deegan gets 4 twisted bows? Anyways, okay, enough of this. What have you done this week? Did you get your 4 T-bows?
Dude, funny enough, no, I'm kidding.
Every week you're just getting a T-bow?
That'd be bittersweet. Nice to make the money, but
yeah.
Anyways, no T-bows. I worked a bunch this week. I had like between 7 and 9. I should look at my schedule before I record, but it was like 7 or 9 days in a row of like working, and I was covering for my assistant manager, so I had like...
So you're managing the place?
No, assistant to the manager.
Oh, okay.
No. There were some days where I have to do like some of like their duties, I guess. Like their easier stuff, I guess. But
okay.
No, it was like a lot of work, and then it was just like tiring. So I'd come home, play some RuneScape, do Chambers of Xeric, do some wood cutting. I don't know. Anyways, I've had a couple days off, and I have like one more day off. I've had like a nice string of days off, so I've had like a lot of time to kind of catch up on my RuneScape, I guess.
Nice.
And yeah, so in that time I've done, pretty much more Xeric's, got no items this week. Did a bunch of Zulrah, no items from that. Still rebuilding though, you still make money. And then I've gone back to doing Vorkath because I have a Slayer task. So I'll just like jump in, do a couple kills, and then like...
Jump in, jump out?
Yeah, just kind of like while I'm like in between. And then I'm at the point now where I'm done leveling woodcutting. I'm at 98 woodcutting, so now I'm going for 99 fire making at Wintertodt, like passively, like in my downtime, my Netflix time.
Similar to what I'm doing with Wintertodt as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty chill. I should be getting 99 woodcutting through Wintertodt at this point. I think I got a little bit too much at Redwoods. And
true.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping to like have some left over so I can get 99 fire making and woodcutting in the same raid. Yeah. Like
Wintertodt?
No, like Xeric's. Like scout for Ice Demon.
Okay.
Just a fun little, hey, I got 9 wood cutting. Go light like the kindling stuff.
You tell your team, shit, I gotta go. I gotta get my capes.
Yeah. Kind of like just a meme from a couple of years ago. Yeah. And then I've been throwing attempts at Theater of Blood.
Oh, cool.
Trying to learn that now.
And how's that going?
It's pretty slow, but it's good. And I've figured out what our issues are. So currently we're stuck at the second phase of Verzik at the end at like 20%.
Ooh, so that's close.
Well, there's a third phase.
Yeah.
Which is like way harder.
Oh.
So that's going to be like a big issue. A lot of it, like I've like, because I have some people, like buddies that like do a lot of Theater of Blood, and they try to explain like what to, like they're just like not the best at teaching or explaining things.
Who's this?
Just like some like high like some like high level PVMers
Okay.
that I've just met through friends and just through rating and stuff. And they brought up some cool things to my attention too, which we'll talk about later on during the community chatter aspect. Not part of the whole breaking news. I have a kid, but
that's the clickbait right there.
yeah. But it's really fun. If you've ever played any other MMOs and like typical MMOs like World of Warcraft or like, I don't know, WildStar, all those 10 people that played it. But like
any game with a raid in it, right?
With like with a standard raid that like has a progression. Yeah, I don't know. It's just fun kind of sitting down and grinding that out, like learning the fights, figuring out what we're doing wrong and all that.
Yeah, that part's like, it's very inefficient because you're not getting anything, right? You're just going through supplies, but...
I mean, I've spent $4 million this week on Theater of Blood attempts.
Damn, what's... Dragon Darts? What are you spending it on?
Deaths.
Oh, right.
$4 million deaths. It's like 40 deaths.
Actually.
Yeah, well...
That many?
Give or take like 4 or 5 from like resigns and stuff.
It's 100K when you die?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like 40. I think I'm at 40 attempts now.
Damn,
total.
That's pretty crazy. But that is like one of the things that when you're learning a raid and then you complete the raid, but that learning process is what kind of gives me the nostalgic feeling.
Yeah. So I have 2 kill count at Theater of Blood.
Yep.
But they were like legit. They were like, yeah, they were just like carries with like people that like they were teaching it, but they were also kind of flexing how good they were.
Yeah. And
like last night I did 2 attempts with like me, a buddy that I'm trying to convince that like, hey man, learning Theater of Blood is fun. Mm-hmm. And then our like mutual friend that's like pretty good at Theater of Blood, and then his buddy too. And they're like, yeah, we just want to teach Theater of Blood. But then we did 2 attempts, and I felt bad one because like normally I'm doing it with like 2 other buddies of mine, which they were saying learning Theater of Blood in a trio is stupid because it's a lot harder. But
it is harder, but at the same time, if you're going for like having fun, it doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah.
You get some, as long as the people you're doing with are positive and they're fun to hang out with. You don't want someone who's like, this is stupid, why haven't we killed it yet?
But that being said, if someone's like throwing and just dying nonstop over dumb stuff,
oh yeah,
that would get really frustrating. But thankfully, like with this first group, that doesn't happen, because like, so we could sit there and just watch streams for like 10 hours and have all the fights memorized, all the mechanics knew optimally. But what we do is we get an idea of the fight and we go, we'll just throw attempts at it and we'll figure it out. And then like that's how we're doing it. We're kind of doing it blind. We're doing it with like peanuts of knowledge, and then like from there we like, okay, what do we think we did wrong? And then we'll sit there and like discuss it, and it like kind of making it, well, we are making it a lot harder on ourselves, but it's like way more fun to do it that way, in our opinion, at least.
Yeah, I would imagine.
That's
so
like,
you're doing it through trial and error, right?
Well, trial and error, but we also like dissect what went wrong. We're like I kept having this issue where I would take damage at Soda Saga, this really weird part, when I have to pray flick, and I couldn't figure out why. And then like I just like went over a clip of like how I got hit. I just like sat there and watched it, and we talked about it, and it's like, oh, okay. And then kind of figured out what the issue was, and it's like during this death thought mechanic, it's like the projectile speed changes depending on where you're running. Okay. And it'll throw you off like mentally when to like switch, because your brain is like, you have an extra tick to switch. You have like, so you have some more time to switch your prayers, but really like you get hit before the projectile's even near you.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just like weird visual tricks that happen. And then yeah, there's like a lot of like little things that it's really fun to kind of go over. The 2 carries and then like the 2 attempts I did yesterday. Thankfully, the 2 attempts I did yesterday weren't successful. I would have been kind of annoyed if we like completed it, because like what I realized, and because I just wasn't having any fun. Like after 2, I'm like, I don't want to do Theater of Blood. Like, I'd rather wait, Because our big issues that like the people I'm dealing with we're like literally all over the globe. We have like a small time frame when we're like all awake to do it.
Okay, yeah.
We're just like everywhere. But a lot of it is like, yeah, we're real fucking good at this game. Check it out. We got Inferno capes. Yeah, I'm a maxed Iron Man. So what? I'll teach you. And then it's like, you bring Bruise to Theater Blood. Now we bring Monkfish, so we always make money. like you know what I mean? You're like, oh, so these are like the elite PVMers that everyone like dislikes. You know what I mean? And then they're like, before we like entered Verzik, I'm like, okay, so with my group, and I like explained, this is what we're stuck on, and like, yeah, don't worry about it, we can do it. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to complete and I had to like keep making them like stop, like trying to start the fight. I'm like, I don't care about like just chill. Like, explain to me what these mechanics are, because like if like when I die at some point, like I want to be able to like have a reference point that I can like think about and like mull over while you guys one tick flick and brag about how you only use 2 restores on Verzik and 2-man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm not here for the loot. I'm here for actually completing the raid.
But they're like, we'll teach you as you go along. I was like, no, because I already have questions that you should, if you're teaching, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like I don't know, think of your math teacher being like, we're gonna do let's just do some trigonometry, and you're like, what does SOHCAHTOA mean? Don't worry, when you have to apply it, we'll just do it.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, that's like the fundamentals of trigonometry. Like, explain to me what the fuck SOHCAHTOA is and how do I apply it. Don't worry about it. It's not important, because trigonometry, trust me, I'm really fucking good at it. And like, this is basic stuff. It's like, yeah, exactly. So you should understand, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're just like, but what about the test I'll do the test for you. You just watch the test and see how I do it.
Yeah, memorize the answers. Because you're going to see me put on the answer. Just memorize that, and then you're good. Then you know trigonometry. It's like, yeah, it was really frustrating because like, there were some things I figured out, and it was just like, you have to ask them like, well, you have to like play dumb, right? Mm-hmm. It'd be like, you know, like that saying where it's like, the best way to find out what the answers on the internet is to give the wrong answer on purpose.
Oh, and you'll have like 10 people correcting you.
Yeah. Specifically, I mentioned before, the part we were stuck on is when you get like around like 20%, I don't even know the number, but during
Verzik?
phase 2 of Verzik, she'll like go into this like healing phase where she summons these 2 red leeches on either side, and you have to kill them or get them really low and then go back to attacking her. Because after like X amount of time, she like absorbs them and she heals and then instantly resummons 2 more.
Yeah, I remember Wooks' team, when they were first trying to complete it, they got super close. Everyone died except for Wooks, and he was able to just stay on that part, but he couldn't outdamage Verzik. So it was just...
Yeah.
He was stuck in this loop.
That's exactly what happened to us, right? We just didn't have... as we're doing it, because we hadn't really experienced like that part, right? We're like, nice, we got our 20%. Okay, red, and they're called the Nilochus, but you know, the red Nilochus are up. What do we do? And then we're like, oh shit, I think, boom, big heal. Okay, we got to attack him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, we can't hit her during the channeling phase because she's going to heal. And you know, we're figuring it out, but then we're at that phase for so long that we just like run out of supplies.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, cool, like I'm okay with this because like we figured it out, like we have a good idea of what to expect and how it works, and now we need 2 or 3 attempts to like optimize. So it's really weird just having like the 2 like balance, like either sides of like learning new content.
Yeah,
and I'm only rambling on about it because there's been like, there's a lot of people that are like learning, like in our CC that have been like learning Xerix.
Yeah, and bosses in general.
Yeah, bossing in general. It's just like, it's really interesting. Just like, I don't know if other people feel the same way. Just like the whole learning process is actually the fun part.
It can be.
Yeah. It's just to find the right people like to mesh with.
Yeah, that's the thing. I see a lot of people. I'm like, hey, I'm doing this boss. Anybody want to come? And someone's like, I want to, but I've never done the boss before, so I think I'll pass. It's like they're afraid of like holding you back, which just like, I wouldn't ask if I wasn't prepared to bring someone new. But like, it just, I guess a lot of people have maybe they had a bad experience with bossing where they went with someone to like bandos and they're just like, why do you, like, what gear should I bring? seriously, you want to come to Bandos and you don't even know what gear you what to bring?
You want to come to Bandos, but you haven't looked at the wiki? Well, dude, you asked just out of the blue. This is last minute. Of course, I'm not like looking at the wiki, waiting for someone to ask. Yeah,
Yeah.
But that's kind of like what like this other group with the unfun attempts with the 4 people I was doing it with. That's kind of like I'd ask a question like, really? Yeah, no shit. We're on phase 3 for the first time. Like, what do I do? And then they're kind of like, one of them ended up dying. It was me and the other guy. And it was kind of funny because there's stuff that you remember, right? Like, you're like, oh, webs are bad. You know what I mean? And then I'm avoiding the webs. He gets stuck and I free him. And I'm like, nice, I'm helping out. And then he's like, how many stamp pots do you have left? I'm like, none. And he goes, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, what? I need stand pots for like that would have been something with my other team that I wanted to experience. But like, nice, we're on phase 3. We're all out of run energy and we're all dead. Okay, we have to buy an extra stand pod during the resupply. You know what I mean? So I might not just tell them about that and let them learn it for fun. But then it's kind of an asshole. But yeah, he's like, it's all good. It's all good. Let me just decant. I'm gonna one tick and decant at the same time. Don't worry about it. All right, go pick up the stamina. I decanted it while I was one ticking. Like, dude. Cool, I get it. You're good at this game. Like, thanks, buddy. You know what I mean? Oh, there's a ball about to hit you. Make sure you're at 74 HP. Well, I'm at 30 right now. Like, it's coming. I'm fucking dead.
Tick eat it. I don't know how to tick eat.
Well, I don't know how to tick eat, but
no, I'm just saying.
It was too late. It's like I'm brewing. Dude, you died at 70. I said 74. You told me about a mechanic when I could drink 2 sips of a brew. You know what I mean? Like, what do you want me to do?
I've done that with Xerix when I'm trying to teach someone it's their first time, but there's so many mechanics that I'll forget one. So we'll be just going and like, okay, do this. And then he'll shoot like this red orb, which means you have to pray melee. And I'll be like, oh, by the way,
you're about to take 30 damage, bitch, and you're smited. Yeah.
Pray melee. Why am I praying melee? You never told me to do that. I totally forgot, but oh, you're dead.
Don't worry, I got this. I'm gonna loot all your stuff. I'm gonna one tick flick for us to fight. It's okay. Like, yeah.
I in Xerix, if a new person's coming and they die or something, or if anyone dies, sometimes they'll be like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry. Like, oh, I totally screwed that up." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's all good." In my head, I'm just like,
I fucked them over so hard.
And I'm like, "Oh, thank God, because I'm out of food. I need to loot their body." If he wasn't gonna die, I was about to die.
Yeah, there's this weird mechanic. Well, sometimes in a duo, when you die, you just like don't have any more brews on the ground.
It just kind of happens.
Yeah. Other than that, my bank, I've lost a lot of money through supplies and attempts, and then also I've been like messing around at like Vorkath. Like, I get bored after like 4 kills.
Yeah.
So what I do is I've just been like doing Wooks walks and stuff, just like practicing it, and then I'm like, yeah. All right, let me try and do it with a crossbow and do it like this. Like, let me try and like move in a funny pattern, and then you like obviously I'm just gonna die a bunch. But yeah, it hurts to like I get off RS and I like look at my cash stack. And I'm like, wow, I wasted like 1.5 mil on deaths today. I lost money, whatever, and supplies. But anyways, enough rambling. What'd you do this week?
Not a whole lot. My goals are just all over the place. I think like 2 episodes ago I went through like what I'm doing when I'm doing this in real life.
You're like logic tree of like, if I'm doing this, I'm gonna be doing this on RuneScape. If I'm doing that, when
I'm doing assignments, I'll be doing rune crafting at the Blood Runes. If I'm editing the podcast or if I'm watching Netflix, then I'll do some Winter Todd. If I want to watch YouTube videos, I'll do some Slayer. So it's changed since then, basically. I'm still doing Slayer, and I'm having the feeling of like, I'll get a task. I had an Abyssal Demon task from Konar where I had to kill them from the Slayer Tower. I'm at 98 Slayer. I'm like 350k away from 99, so I'm getting pretty close. And I just had the thought, like, if I'm doing Konar, I feel like I should have my Mauritania Elite Diaries done, so that when I'm in the Slayer Tower, I'm getting that bonus experience. Or if I'm killing a Slayer monster that drops bones, I have the full Bone Crusher, so I can get a full prayer experience.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, like, when I'm getting 99 Slayer, I don't know if I'm going to continue doing normal tasks. I might just skip them unless I can do a boss version of it. And And I'm starting to realize like I kind of missing out on the benefits from having that full bone crusher. Like if I'm just doing bosses, I'm not really going to use it that much, which means I'm missing out on a bunch of experience that because I was using the bone crusher that gives me half the amount of experience.
Yeah. Worst case though, the legs are nice, and hey, that 50K, I guess for you agility experience, but
yeah, that's right.
50K experience is like, man, can't go wrong with that.
That's an hour of time. That's 2 hours of time if it's me playing.
Yeah, okay.
Unreal. So I was like, you know what? Maybe instead of doing Wintertod or rune crafting, even though I'm going to have to do some rune crafting for these, but I feel like I just need to start banging out some of these elite diaries because I have a Calphite task right now. So I'm killing the Calphite Queen.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to. I'm wasting 3 inventory slots on having my Draman staff to teleport using the fairy ring near the cave. I'm also wasting 2 inventory slots on rope because you need 2 rope to get into there, and they disappear after X amount of time.
Yeah.
And with the elite diaries, the Lumbridge elites, you don't need your Draman staff to use fairy rings anymore, so that's nice. It's 1 inventory slot, and a lot, right? You use fairy rings quite a bit.
Yep, and it's the worst when you're like, oh, I forgot my staff.
Yeah.
When we go back to the nearest telly and
or you die somewhere with the staff, and you're like,
oh, when I did Lost City, I stocked up in a whole inventory.
See, that's smart. I have my 1 Draman staff, because I'm pretty sure I lost the other ones, and then I have 1 lunar staff, which I can also use.
Yeah.
So I have 2 chances. And then, the desert elites will give you the rope stay permanently, right? So I'm starting to see, like, I should kind of do these, because I'll have to do them eventually. Well, I'm going to want to do them eventually, but it'll save a lot of time now.
Yep.
So if I'm kind of lost in what I want to do, if I don't feel like doing Slayer, or maybe I need to AFK something, I have a whole list of all the diaries that I have to do, and I have all the requirements that I need. So like 96 fishing I'm going to need to get eventually. So there's a few
96 for, because Mauritania is 91. There's one that requires 96. 91 without boosting.
So it's 96 for Mauritania.
You might want to double check that. Because I have 91 and I have the elites done and I didn't boost. You can go to OSRS diary too. And it tells you in like a nice clean list.
Is that a website?
Yeah.
Yeah, it says catch a shark in Bergderot with your bare hands. 96 fishing and 76 strength.
Oh. Maybe I pie boosted. Not stew boosted at 91.
Possible.
Because I have 91 and I have it done.
Yeah, so then you must have boosted.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have stew boosted.
Yeah, I want to avoid stew boosting if I can. If you don't know, from doing the Evil Dave's part of Recipe for Disaster, it's the sub quest that you get the Hellcat. You kill these rats in the basement. They drop these spices, which you can use on stews. And there's 3 different colors. 3, maybe 4.
Mm-hmm.
But each color will give you a handful of different skills. So you want to figure out which color you need. You put 3 of the spices in there, and then you drink it, and there's like an 8% chance of getting a +5, because you can either get a -5 all the way to a +5 and anything in between.
Yeah.
So if you're wanting to boost with a +5, you have an 8% chance of that happening, and then 12% chance for all the other ones. So yeah, it's kind of, you can go through a lot of stews if you're unlucky. I know you went through that.
Yeah, and that's why I'm never going to do it again.
I also went through that, and I agree. I never want to do that either. Plus, it's like kind of an excuse to get your skill up, depending.
Yeah, because you're like, eventually, if you're at it long enough, you're going to want to get to 99.
Yeah, that's everyone's kind of goal, right?
Yeah.
So I figured it'd be nice to start banging these ones out. So yeah, now if I'm kind of lost, don't feel like doing Slayer and feel like doing something else, I'll kind of look at the list and pick something from it. And so I'll do some fishing. I did some aerial fishing because that tench is kind of cool to get.
That is actually perfect because I completely forgot a bitch about aerial fishing.
Okay.
I kind of loaded that statement, but what do you think about aerial fishing?
It's slow experience, kind of boring. The rewards are very meh.
The rewards are super shit.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like, the angler's okay, but like you're better off doing fishing trawler or just not getting it.
Yeah, I'd say so. The tench it's fun,
But it's a 1 in 20,000.
Yeah, that's the thing. You have it. People aren't going to be like, dude. People might say, where did you get that? But no one's going to go, you got the tench? That thing's so rare. People are just going to like, oh, I didn't even know that existed. Where did you get that?
You got lucky, eh? No, I actually went like 4 times over the drop limit. What's the drop limit? 1 in 5,000? Like, no, 1 in 20K. It's the worst.
Yeah. And then also you tell someone, I got from aerial fishing. Chances are they're going to go, what's aerial fishing? Is it worth doing? No, not really.
It's awful.
So you get hunter experience, you get fishing experience, and you get a very little amount of cooking experience.
If you want.
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna have to do it a little bit unless you buy the bait, but you can cut the fish, get a little bit of cooking experience,
and you get the bait on the island.
Yeah, but it's a lot faster. Just either if you can buy it, or you can just.
But where do you buy it?
GE, I'm pretty sure.
But where do you bank it then? Like
in your bank.
But there's no bank on the island. Am I missing something?
No, it's a stack. It's a stack of bait, like the fish chunks. You don't need to use the worms.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
You have to you kill when you catch the fish, you cut them with a knife, and they turn into fish chunks that you use as bait, and it's stackable.
Okay, that explains a lot then.
Oh my god, were you picking up the worms?
Maybe.
Jeez. I mean, it does suck, but I can see why you hate it so much more.
Yeah, what the fuck? Because I was like, okay. So, let me cut you off for a second and quickly explain aerial fishing and then explain why I hated it so much. But I'm still going to hate it just the amount. Maybe. Just the same amount. Maybe. Probably. Anyways. Pretty much you go onto the mulch aisle. And then you talk to this dude. You can't have any weapons or gloves equipped. No shield, nothing. Your hands have to be completely free. You get like a bird on your arm. And then it's like when you're hunting kebits?
Yeah, kebits.
Falconry?
Yep.
But you're doing it with fishing nodes that spawn randomly around the island. And then they like move pretty frequently. So you have to be quick. And all that stuff, and they'll like spawn next, like right on the shore, or they'll spawn like outwards, but there's a bunch of them and they're always moving. And to do it efficiently, you kind of have to run around a set area in the island.
Yeah.
Because it's better experience to catch the fish that are closest to you, because it's like less downtime of like actually getting the experience.
Oh yeah, it's a lot fast, and it's very satisfying when you get a string of close ones, because you're like boom catch, boom catch, boom catch.
And so like if you want to be like efficient, you're gonna be like moving around. So what I was doing, which I didn't even realize you could do fishing chunks, because I didn't really Google it that much. I just like sat down and played with it for like an hour, being like, all right, if I'm trying to like figure out how to do this efficiently, how would I go about? You know what I mean?
You choose the most inefficient way of doing it.
So what I was doing was picking up 26 kingsworms from the infinite pile, and then I would run, attack, or like get it to fish up one of these nodes that might move as I go to click it. But these nodes that were close, I'd run around this set pattern, and then as it was coming to me, you can spam click onto the next one, and as you're like, you know what I mean, on the same ticker, the experience that's already being sent out, then I would quickly drop one of the fish, and then start moving to the next one. And so you're like just clicking more than you would for lava runes. Like click, 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 and I don't play on fixed, I play on resizable. So I'm just like slamming you just hear like me slamming my mouse around my table, like winging it around, trying to like click everywhere. And yeah, you're just like running around, clicking nonstop, dropping it, go through like 5, 6, 7 inventories, and you get like a mulch pearl, and you're like, nice, I'll need 999 until I get that backpack. Like,
so that's my problem. The actual activity itself isn't too bad.
It's awful. What do you mean?
Like I would find it satisfying when like I said, I got a string of really close ones. It was like if I could always get close ones, I'd be constantly doing it. Probably. But the problem is, and 30 minutes, 40 minutes goes by, and you're like, oh, I got 10K fishing experience, 5K hunter experience, and 3 mulch per. I got nothing.
Yeah. I have nothing to show for it, and I'm putting in more. I could be putting this effort, I could be putting less effort into doing lava runes, and I'd be getting twice the amount of experience. Well, like even if you combine how much hunter and fishing, I'm getting a lot more experience than that combined, and it's in rune crafting.
Yeah.
And it's less click intensive, and it's like easier. You know what I mean? It's not like you're clicking on nodes that are constantly moving, so you have to like think, okay, this one just spawned, I gotta keep track of this one in the nodes I'm clicking to make sure I can like to guarantee I'm like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like, you're running around and then you get low on stamina and you're like, oh fuck, I'm like out of stamina. I can't run. I didn't bring any potions. So I'm gonna have to like not run around as much for a little bit and let it like it was just like so much effort for like nothing. And it like I want to ask the JMod who like made this, be like, what made you think this would be fun for the average player?
I can see its benefits because like train 2-3 skills at once, you're kind of
I bet you if I was cooking, that's the thing. I can't. Like, I know you could cook them into fishing chunks, and I probably would have if I knew you could use that as bait. Because what happens like every 3 or 4 minutes, like your cormorant goes through those worms.
Yeah,
it's like every couple, you're like, oh, I got to sit here for like 30 seconds and just like just click nonstop and do like the typical slowly pick up a full inventory.
Yeah.
I couldn't even really imagine having to like, I guess instead of dropping the fish, I'd be like cooking or cutting them.
Mm-hmm.
Which it's just one extra click. But even
it's a bit slower than dropping.
Well, like if you can do it on like the same timing or the same tick as you're like sending your dudes out, like you can with dropping, but it's still more clicking. I mean, I guess if you need the cooking experience, I don't really factor in cooking experience because I don't need it.
That's like, where I think it might be a little nicer, even though it's still like 5,000 cooking experience an hour. It's nothing, but it all kind of adds up.
Mm-hmm. It's just like it wasn't thought out. Like it's very much a gimmick. Like it's something that a new player goes like, this is a cool idea, and then like 10 minutes goes by, like, yeah, I'll do it later, and they just never come back to it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I haven't done any content on Fossil Island besides like Suliceps, and that was even then. That's the exact feeling I had, which it was like, this is kind of interesting, but after an hour, I'm like, I'm over it. You know what I mean? It's just like. A lot. I feel like a lot. I'm sorry. I totally cut off what you did this week, but I feel like a lot of the mid-tier content is just gimmicks.
They're somewhat. Now I can kind of see the benefit at lower levels because I mean Hunter sucks to train until like level
28, I think, or 29.
Whenever you can do salamanders, right?
Yeah. Once you get past like the bird trapping and stuff in the very beginning,
but. Looking at the chart here, at 43 fishing and 35 hunter, you do get 15k experience an hour in hunter and 10k experience.
That's max rates, though.
It's max rates.
That's like you're me sweaty, cooking in between fishing, running around in circles like that. That's putting in a lot of effort.
Yeah, but like I can see where it's like kind of nice to train them both at once.
I guess if you think fishing's too AFK. And Hunter is like not or is too like it's how like doing salamanders like chins or like Hunter in general is that weird spot in AFK that we talked about like last episode, but with Winter
it's AFK, but you have to pay attention.
Yeah, because you want your traps to always be up, but then they'll like all break at the same time. So you have to like quickly. It's like scooping water out of a sinking boat. You know what I mean? You're just trying to stay on top of it. I guess if that's what really deters you from like Hunter and then fishing's just too boring, this could be fun. But like, don't you feel that like a lot of like the issue with the mid-tier content that Jagex makes is like, just like, hey, this is a cool idea. They're only going to do it for 4 levels, so let's just make it weird. And you know what I mean? To keep them interested because it's weird instead of like actually like fun.
It is, yeah, it's hard to know the actual motivations behind it. But I do like the cosmetics do look cool. They're nothing crazy, but they're fun. Really hard to get. I might have to send this into Jagex to see if they'd be willing to do this. But I wish the Tench was an offhand instead of a main hand.
Yeah.
Because I think it would be awesome because you can get the fishing rods, the equipable fishing rods.
Yeah.
And they look kind of nice.
Yeah.
So it would be cool to have a fishing rod in one hand and the fish in the other hand.
Yeah. Or up the Tench from 100 to like 250. You can trade it in for 100 mulch pearls.
Yeah, 100's nothing.
It's a 1 in 20,000. If you get 2 of them, I mean, unless you just don't want the first one, but I think most people would want the first one.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, maybe that's just really bad, but like, if aerial fishing's supposed to, like, when I was doing it, 100%, Jagex, like, it feels like it was not intended for someone to do until they hit a 99. Yeah. Not even talking about being efficient, like, in terms of enjoyment, I feel like if you enjoy, like, doing mulch fishing or aerial fishing, for extended amounts of time, you would probably enjoy, like, 3-tick manipulating stuff.
Yeah, maybe.
And on top of it, you're getting way better rates and money. Because it's just, like, I don't know. There's so many weird things. And, like, I want to go to Fossil Island and really sit down and try out all these methods, like the underwater fishing with the tiers.
I remember when I did the underwater, it wasn't... I remember, like, I can see the appeal to this. My only problem is that if I want to level thieving, there's much faster ways of doing it.
What about agility, though?
That's the thing. So that's why I like to do it, because it's like, oh, I'm doing agility as well. Mm-hmm. But it's still, like, a small amount. But you do collect the tiers, which you collect 2 types of tiers. One you can trade in for experience, and the other you can trade in for items. And then with the tiers that you can trade into the store, you can get a merfolk trident. Looks interesting, and it's used for the drift net fishing.
Is that like passive fishing, or what is drift net fishing?
I believe it's hunter and fish. Wait a minute.
Oh, is that the mini game? Look at the other mini game that they have.
Yeah, that's the one underwater where you can you set up these nets, and I think you can the trident you can use to push them into it.
Yeah.
Or you can let it be more passive.
Yeah.
I forgot we already had a fishing and hunter combo. Why do we got 2 of them now?
They probably look at the thumbs up, thumbs down thing, and the 2 people that do it just always they'll get like 20 fishing experience or hunter, and they just no, I'm done. Get me out of here.
Yeah. We'll move on from this, but now that you mention it, I wish for their birthday where they went through the data stream, kind of wish they went into that thumbs up, thumbs down thing to see how many people use it and what kind of feedback it gives them.
Yeah.
Because I've totally forgot that thing exists. I haven't used it since it first came out.
Yeah. Like, they really should, I don't know if they do this, but what is it called when they get, a focus group?
Yeah.
They need, a focus group that, plays some games, and then they just get them to test out these, new training methods. I totally, back when Fossil Island came out, I didn't understand why. I probably bitched, this is just a waste of time, But, we've played the game for so long that, you explain fishing to, you know what I mean? So this is fishing? Yeah. How is this fun? You just click there and sit there and watch it? Well, you don't watch. I mean, you can, but why would you watch yourself fish? Well, you're playing a goddamn game. Why are you doing something that you're going to, actively go and watch a movie while you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're finding other things to do on the side. That doesn't sound like a game. That sounds like chores.
That sounds like an addiction.
Yeah. Sounds like you're doing house chores and you're like, I need a podcast to listen to do this.
So I totally, now I can see why they have all these alternative methods and why they're so, kind of out there. But I feel like they don't do it correctly. They find, everything wrong. I'll just finish this up and I'll let you continue, sorry. Everything wrong with fishing, at least for me, but then they threw it into one mini game, one type of training method. I can't imagine doing this shit on mobile. Oh my god! It's clicking hard. And then trying to cook and cut it in between. Oh my god! Anyways.
So I can kind of see the appeal to these things for newer players, someone who's never played the game in a long time. So they come on, they stumble across this content, they go, "I'm going to do some underwater fishing. So they just like, I'm going to try it out. And they do it for like an hour or so, and they've gained a level or two in both hunter and fishing. They're like, this isn't too bad. This is kind of fun. And then they stumble across aerial fishing later on. They do the same thing. They do it for a bit. Because I remember when I was, although I was a kid as well, so it's what was fun for me back then is a lot different than now.
Yeah.
But when I first got membership, I stumbled across the Brimhaven agility course, decided to do it, collected a bunch of points, and just kept getting agility experience. And I got like 45 agility before I was like, I'm not going to do this anymore. But I remember doing it and being like, this is awesome. This is so much fun. This content is great. Even though there's like way better experience methods, I wasn't looking it up. I just did something that was fun and I continued doing it.
Yeah.
So I could see that happening where someone stumbles across it, does it till they're bored, but then aerial fishing also gives them another chance to stumble across it, gain some levels as well. So, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they should explain that fishing chunks can be used as bait.
They did. We read the dev blog.
No, but I mean, like, okay, I saw aerial fishing. So it was like, okay, whoop, erase that from my mind. But like at least like you gotta have your hands free. Get bird. Can I have a go out with your bird? Haha, funny meme, Jagax. Sure, make sure your hands are free, but they don't specify you have to take off your gloves. They just maybe I missed it. Maybe I just can't read anymore. My reading comprehension is going down because of this trash. But maybe if they see someone pick up like 200 total king's worms and like, yeah, by the way, you can use a knife on that fish and that will be used as bait if you don't want to pick this up. Little heads up.
I kind of knew that though. Like I went on there and maybe I just retained it from when we read it out.
Yeah, I totally didn't. Anyways.
Yeah, let's move on to the news. A little rambly this pre-show. I don't know. What do we call this part?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. News time.
So let's start off this week's updates with the Treasure Trails expansion poll blog. Yeah, so first things up is a new tier of beginner clue scrolls that they've suggested. So this would be a 1 to 3 step clue, and it would be for free to play and pay to play. But it's all going to be based on like free to play players, obviously. Yeah, it wouldn't be required for Watson for the master clue.
Perfect.
Yes, that's kind of nice. And alongside with the clue scrolls, there would be a new tutor to teach free to play players on how clue scrolls work and where to obtain them. And at the end of X marks the spot, you would be rewarded with a beginner clue scroll. And it would direct you to, to the clue tutor, all that good stuff.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, and players who already completed the quest, you can still go back and get your beginner clue scroll.
So easy, medium, hard, elite, and masters would still be members only, but beginners would be free to play. So some unique rewards that have been suggested are frog slippers, a runes cape, rune scimitar ornament kit, and monk robe tee.
That's interesting. It sounds pretty cool to me.
And yeah, so alongside that, they have suggested some new clue puzzles. You know those amazing slider puzzles that
RuneLite completes for you?
Yeah. They have one for Chambers of Xeric, Theater of Blood, and Vorkath would be some new designs.
Cool.
And then some more rewards. So people sent in a lot of ideas on what could be some new rewards added to Treasure Trails. And some of them that they have selected are the Cape of Skulls.
Looks really cool.
Yeah, this cape would skull the player when worn, just like the Amulet of Avarice. When equipping the cape, players would be given a warning. All that good stuff. The skull would be applied until the cape's unequipped, and then you have 20 minutes of being skulled. It'd be as strong as an obsidian cape. Just gives you 9 defense bonus and everything. But yeah, it looks really cool.
And it says it'll be an easy clue reward, which is interesting.
Yeah. The next one would be a spiked manacle, which are spiky leg bracer type things.
It's like a bracelet on your anklet.
Yeah, something you'd get from Hot Topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some real Mad Max clothing.
So it's goes on your feet, obviously, and it would have stats comparable with climbing boots, but with a +4 strength bonus and no defense bonus or quest requirement.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I do like how it'll be the first thing that'll make you basically barefoot.
Yeah, the plus strength thing.
You think that's an issue?
Well,
It's a new best in slot for peers, no?
it does come from a medium clue reward.
Right.
So we have the range boot, the mage boot, and then a strength boot, which would all be made kind of for peers.
Seems like what they've been doing with the medium clue scrolls.
Yeah, I'm not against it. It's just like they kind of like, it's not a bad idea. They put it in.
I don't mind if it's a small boost to peers.
I like it in the sense that it helps my Obby Mauler a lot, and also ruins a lot of Obby Maul accounts. Well, air quotes.
Yeah, how does that work?
Because some Obby Maulers would opt into getting the climbing boots. The strength bonus is super nice, but the attack bonus is kind of like, I'd prefer to stay one attack, but I guess this does make me a lot more accurate. But the strength bonus would be really nice too. This could piss off like a lot of people that had, because with my account, I had that decision where like, I want to kind of keep it at one attack, but I really want the boots.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just going to keep it at one attack though. I choose to limit myself. So I don't know enough about how much this would mess with everything, but I do think like we have like a range, a mage, and a melee. I just don't know how much it's going to be. Is it going to be like comparable to the price of ranger boots?
Yeah.
Or is it going to be like mage boots?
Well,
there's
definitely
also holy sandals too. There's now we're going to wait for pure tank boots. Not, you know what I mean? Like we need those next.
I don't think it'll be as expensive as ranger boots because mains need the ranger boots as well in order to get the Pegasians.
Definitely interesting item though. The next one is a blessed D'hide shield. So these shields will have comparable stats to a black D'hide shield, but with +1 prayer bonus, and they come in all sorts of the gods, I guess. So Gothic, Sarah, Zami, Ancient, Armadil, Bandos. Ancient is like the purple. Right? Zeros, yeah. And Bandos, and they would match the other armors. So yeah, I'm assuming they're going to have a 40 defense requirement.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, +1 prayer bonus. Pretty neat. The Fremenic Kilt. So this stylish kilt will have stats comparable to an iron plate legs, but with a +1 strength bonus. This would be an elite reward.
Looks nice.
So just like that, though, if both these pass, it's a +5 strength to pures that are training melee.
Oh, that's interesting.
In one swoop of a pole.
For some reason, I was thinking this would have a defense level requirement. But yeah, you're right.
So that's where my worry comes in, and it's not it's not like I have anything against pures, but if I'll go on a very, very quick tangent, we were talking about like the experience of a new player. We already know that like the wilderness is dead. Well, air quotes dead, but like
as a new player, you stay the fuck away.
As a new player, you go PKing for the first time at Edgeville. It's not going to be fun.
Oh no!
Like some dude already min-maxed.
You get Gmaul spec'd right out.
Yeah, you're gonna die in like 5. Someone's gonna call you a safing F word. They're gonna Gmaul spec you, and you're overhealed with a brew for some reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's already unforgiving. Obviously, these items would have a lot of value, especially in the beginning. But like 3 years from now, especially it's like, no, I'm not gonna skull.
Yeah, that's one thing that's kind of annoying. Just when I watch PK videos, as soon as the person's like, I'm not sculling because I have these items, and I go like, why am I watching this?
Sure, you're risking 100k against their 20k, but 100k isn't that much. 20k is even less, obviously. But on top of that, you have like an 80% chance, 90 to kill them.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Due to your just raw stats.
Well, I can still lose like 300k, but it's like, yeah, but you have a huge advantage.
And in the video, you get 2 tier 10s in a row.
Yeah.
So clearly, yeah. And the main thing is that they did change how the bounty system worked with like protect item and all that stuff, and if they're not skulled and what they're risking and all that jazz. But Berserker Ring, like let's just say you're like some weird melee base, because range, like the thing is like at low levels range to like Gmaul does is overwhelmingly like what people make in pures.
Mm-hmm.
But having like the kilt, the boots, like a berserker ring, that's 3 items. You could now have Gmaulers unsculling, who even skulled risk nothing, but now they have like a +5 from the boots and legs, and then I don't know if they would. I guess they'd probably imbue the ring.
If you're not going to lose it, who cares?
Yeah, like it's just so weird that like that you can get crazy amounts of like DPS. I don't know. It would just worry me, but I guess pures are really like lacking in strength bonus. I don't know. Something to bring up to think about before you vote, I guess.
But it would be nice now that if someone is like not willing to skull and these items come out, now they're going to be like, well, if I really want to be as strong as possible, I'm going to have to risk something. Because, you know, Zerker necklace with your Zerker ring and your Obby Mole is like, I guess that's kind of the setup that they're not worried about losing anything, right? I'm sure there's another
Well,
item.
if you're like an Obby Mauler, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of this. Maybe it's just because I recently watched a video of an Obby Mauler that would have these really good
items,
and they're just like, I'm not going to skull though, and it kind of makes it not as fun to watch because you're like, yeah, you're not risking as much.
Honestly, being that Obby Mauler that wouldn't skull, because I've done that. And I'm also really bad at PKing at Edgeville, well, in general, but especially at Edgeville. It's a lose-lose because like if you know what I mean? Like I guess if they're risking like 8 mil or something, right?
Yeah,
they don't want to risk it for 20K. But if they even risk 200K, like it's still like the lose-lose. But yeah, it isn't as fun. Like if I could go in and just have like a fair shot with my gear and not worry about like the sculling aspect, that would be pretty neat. But if I'm gonna risk 200K versus 20K, I might as well risk nothing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I could just not skull and not risk that, bring like 50K cash, and then
it's a vicious cycle.
Yeah, it's just really weird. I don't know. Something to think about, I guess. But yeah, a lot of strength bonus, I guess, being put into the game for one defense. Anyways, let's move on though. But yeah, the Third Age Druidic set. So this would be the final set for the Third Age set, which would be pretty neat, I guess. It does look really nice. The top and bottoms, you need 65 prayer and defense to wear. There's a Druidic Wreath. It's not included in the set because it's already obtainable in the game via Django's toy store. And this would be a Master Clue reward. So the top has just 8 prayer bonus and the bottom has just 6. They look pretty nice though. But
look interesting.
What are your thoughts on the looks?
Looks like a Third Age Druid set, you know. Nothing crazy.
Yeah. Not too RuneScape 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like some of like the new gears that come out, they kind of go like over the top. That's the one thing I got to say about these items is that they're not over the top. Like the flashiest one is the Cape of Skulls, but it's not like. I think it's just because like the shape of the cape is so different.
Yeah, it does look pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I noticed was, I mean, you can find uses for everything, but it seems like going from easy to the Master Clue rewards, starting at easy, it goes from being like, I shouldn't say useful, but it just seems like stat-wise and perk-wise. I mean, my initial thought is that as you get to the harder clues, they become less useful,
or not like useful, but more of you like the Third Age would be really nice for like barraging in the catacombs. Huge prayer, but
that's true.
You're dropping like once the price settles, you're dropping like even if you value it at the same as like Third Age Mage, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're dropping so much money for like one use.
Well, the only other thing I could see it for is it's like maybe doing boosting to get the Ardone. Not even really, but the Ardone rooftop course. Because I remember I was reading like, how could I make agility as AFK as possible? And people had said the Ardone course is pretty much the most AFK you can get for agility. But what a lot of people do is they boost to it, then they use the prayer
Preserve.
where it keeps your boost for longer, and then they just wear as much prayer bonus as possible to keep. And then this allows you to do like a lot of runs without having to waste any prayer
But
potions.
how much money are you spending
Yeah,
to not waste prayer potions? Like, that's the question. But, I totally agree, though. Like, easy and medium clues, I feel like it's dedicated to, like, let's just, like, here's some nice items for pures. Ranger boots, you can upgrade. I guess now the holy sandals, you can upgrade to devout. But, like, really, like, it's kind of weird that the easiest clues are kind of made for pures.
So, well, then you have the elite clue, so it is not really super consistent.
Yeah, okay, that's true.
I maybe when I was originally looking at this, I didn't factor in the pures. I just factored in like looks and whatnot. Whereas like, okay, easy, it's an obby cape. Medium, it's better than climbing boots. Blessed d'hide shields, it's kind of useless, I guess. I mean, some people are going to be using it, sort of. Maybe bring it to Kraken or something. I don't know. And then the Fremennik kilt, I think it looks great.
Yeah.
But then it's like 1 strength bonus, and it's like iron plate legs. I look at it and I go,
that's for pure.
It's for pure, and it's kind of useless. Yeah. And then they add the druid set where you're like, oh, looks neat, but again, I'm not gonna be able to use it for anything.
Yeah, even if you had it, you're like, I'm gonna sell it because I don't have a use for it.
Yeah, that's from someone who's like staking, has too much money, needs to buy more stuff.
Yeah. So if this expansion is added to a game, a selection of new rewards will be added. So they'd be either cosmetic or match stats of items with similar requirements that already exist. These would not be pulled individually, but as a part of a whole expansion. So here are just some of the new rewards that this is gonna like a separate group, not the ones we just talked about, because these ones have like, these are like new items and new stats that we just went over.
Mm-hmm.
So these would be like, yeah, you'd use them to like replace, like more of like fashionscape stuff.
Yeah.
So Yuri's hat.
So it's probably like closer to Cavalier.
Yep. He's the dude they have to do the emos for.
Yep.
Ranger tights.
Green d'hide chaps. Maybe a little bit better.
Yeah, I have no idea. Obimall ornament kits.
Cool.
Gilded Dragonhide set. Gilded Defender set, or kit, sorry.
Okay, that second one's cooler than the other one.
Mm-hmm. Third Age plate skirt.
Okay, it's an item you can get and be like, damn it, I wish I got the legs, because they're worth so much more.
Wolf mask and cape.
No idea what that means.
It's like the demon hat, like just like a demon mask, like a jungle demon mask. Yeah, something like that. Sandwich lady outfit.
Okay, if you want to cosplay some erotic scenario.
I think it's pretty funny. I like that idea. Not being like ERP and RuneScape, but like
erotic
roleplay.
Yeah.
Like random event costumes. Like imagine dressing up as a mysterious old man and saying like, I don't know, some stuff to noobs, and they like try to dismiss you, and they end up trading you their cash tag. Be funny. But heraldic plate bodies.
Sure.
Joint of ham.
And it says wieldable.
Is that like a spliff? Like a jazz cigarette?
Okay, I know it's not, but I have no other ideas of what it could be. So I'm going to have to say it's going to be a joint. Well, actually, you can carry a thing of beer, right? Like an ale of the gods. And it shows that you're drunk. Why can't we have you holding a joint, and you could like smoke it, and maybe your eyes turn red, and like maybe your dude is always laughing. Every time you stop, he just starts chuckling. I mean, you know.
Your food starts disappearing.
Yeah.
Your inventory.
It starts healing less.
Yeah.
I mean, it's legal here in Canada, so I don't see why not. I don't know if there's laws against that. And then we can get like heroin syringes and stuff. Shit.
Yeah. But like,
what the hell is a joint of humans against monsters?
Like, I'm trying to think of the quest line, but and then they also say wieldable.
So yeah, so
I literally,
you go back to the ham layer and they're all holding joints. You're like, wow, I never noticed it this time.
The main thing is that like beer, I mean, it's illegal in like some countries and stuff in some parts of the world, but alcohol usually has that thing where it's like even in North America, when like during Prohibition, it was illegal, but everyone drank it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even cops like off-duty cops would be going to speakeasies and stuff and drinking and having their own private collection. But with like, if it's like a joint of ham, if we're assuming it's like marijuana, it's illegal 90% of the places.
Yeah.
On Earth, which would be kind of weird to have like people in a kids game doing illegal substances. I mean, I'm not against it. It's just that one threw me off.
It throws me off too because I know I'm 90% sure it's not weed related. At the same time, I have no other clue of what else.
Yeah,
it could be.
That's the only thing my mind goes to.
One second, actually, let me do some digging. So I found one Reddit post with no upvotes, no comments, posted 14 days ago.
By Miss Jezza?
Mr. Jezza.
Yeah,
The ham joint. A ham joint cosmetic weapon. Kind of like the rubber chicken. It would look similar to the ham logo on the hideout door. This tells me nothing.
The only comment, the person's shadow banned.
Who knows? It'll be a surprise then.
Yeah, I guess. Staff of the Bobcat.
Okay, staff with a cat head.
Staff of Bob the Cat. Wow, I messed that up. But yeah. Double Psy from Ninja Turtles. Those two pokey things.
Oh, nice.
Third Age Staff. Jester Cape, which I like a lot.
Sure.
We need something to add to that Jester outfit. Gnome Scarf Recolors.
Cool.
Mole Slippers.
What? Whatever.
You know, like the baby moles?
Yeah.
Have them on your feet.
I guess so. It's cruel.
Gilded Spade.
Can we equip it and use it?
I don't know, but I think a lot of PKers just,
got too excited.
Yeah. Gilded Hatchet and Pickaxe.
Cool. Interesting stuff.
So, poll question 1. Should they add beginner clues?
So the poll blog did actually close today, so let's see what passed and what didn't pass. So question 1 did pass with 92% saying yes.
If the Treasure Trail expansion passes, should Cave of Skulls be added?
So question 2 also passed.
If the Treasure Trail expansion passes, should Spiked Manacles be added?
Question 3 did pass as well.
Question 4, if the Treasure Trail expansion passes, should the Blessed D'Hide Shield be added?
Question 4 also passed.
Fremennik Kilt?
Yes, it did pass.
And Third Age?
Yep. All basically with 90% yes.
Okay. So moving on to the other ones, I guess. So non-item related or reward related, but they would like to add re-rolling clue steps. A re-roll is the ability to change the step you currently have and get a different one. The only way to acquire a re-roll is to complete 20 to 60 clues of the same tier as the clue step you want to re-roll. You cannot complete numerous easies to unlock a reroll on a master. So it has to be related to the tier. And it's a one-time use. So you have to do 20 to 60 more depending on, the difficulty, all that good stuff. Reroll unlocks or act as more of a reward for completing clue scrolls rather than making them too easy. There's no guarantee that rerolling will make the new step any easier. So 60 or so clue scrolls, easy clue scrolls require 60 completions. Medium would be 50. Hard 40. Elite 30. Masters 20.
So this question did not pass.
Yep, I don't think it should.
It was pretty split with a 48% saying yes.
Yeah.
I agree. We talked about it when they first announced it. It would just... I don't know. It takes away the surprise a bit, and it's unnecessary.
It turns into like, you always gonna just use a reroll on this one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
It's an excuse not to level something or do a quest,
or even just like it's just weird. It takes with imagine doing like a scavenger clue or some shit, and you're like, hey, nice, you got 20 of the 40 things done. You can just skip one of these.
Yeah.
Whatever one you find at that moment is the most inconvenient, you skip it. Or re-roll it. Sorry. I'm not putting that in the best light. But anyways, multiple clue scrolls and stackable reward caskets. Pretty much what I just said, but they added... So, like, the idea is that you could stack multiple clues And just like ecumenical keys, which you get in the wilderness for God War's dungeon, if you don't want to get kill count, every one you have reduces the chance of another one dropping. But they would cap at 5. And then the reward caskets would just allow you to stack multiple caskets of a tier.
And yeah, so we did talk about this again when they announced it, but having it stacked, I believe it would make it a chore for the people who enjoy doing clue scrolls. It suddenly becomes a chore because now you're like, oh, I got a hard clue. I should probably go do this right away so I can keep getting the hard clues. Now you would just be like, okay, I don't feel like doing it now. Throw it in the bank. Next thing you know, you have 5 hard clues, and you're like, I don't want to spend an hour and a half doing these.
Even that, some people would enjoy doing that, right? Some people would enjoy having like 4 mediums or 4 hards. So let's say you're doing Hellhounds and you get one right off the bat. And then the argument I kept seeing for like why it should be stackable is I don't want to stop mid-task to do a clue scroll, but I do it because I want to get another one. And it's like, well, you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, I think it's what you can't eat your cake and have it too. The whole that phrase is implying you can't eat your cake, but then still have it at the end.
Yeah.
But you can't. Yeah, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Like it's just like there has to be trade offs when you play this game or anything in general. You can't just have the best of both worlds where it's like I don't want to leave my Hellhounds, which is like Neve's Cave. It's so easy to get to Neve's Cave.
Yeah.
Takes 2 seconds to get there. If you're too lazy to go do that, that sucks. But like, if you really want to do a hard, like, I just let it sit in the bank because I don't like doing them. I'd rather just stock them all up, do a master clue. It's my preference. And
now,
I know I could have had hundreds of hard clues done, and I could have gotten into, or you know what I mean, elites or something, and been insanely lucky with the loot. I choose not to. You probably enjoy like having a break from doing Hellhounds or something.
Yeah, that's why I like it.
Yeah.
You break up what you're doing in the game. Now, I do wish I don't know why they didn't pull these two things separately because I don't like stackable clues, but I'm kind of okay with stackable caskets just because it's kind of fun to stock up and open a bunch at once.
Well, so should we allow them to have multiple clues? And then 9 was if 8 passes, decrease the chance, and then 10 is caskets.
Oh, wow, I am an idiot. Okay, so question 8 about multiple clue scrolls being stackable did not pass with 65%.
Nice. Nice. I finally agree with something not passing or passing.
Question 9, which relates, it didn't pass as well with 56. But then question 10 about the stackable caskets did pass with 78%.
Yeah. So the next one, the Treasure Trails Mimic Boss. Players will be able to unlock the ability to fight the Mimic Boss after unlocking the feature by speaking to an NPC upon completion of a clue scroll. Your reward casket will have a rare chance to become a Mimic that you must defeat in order to receive your reward. This Mimic Boss will be found on Elite and Master caskets and will swallow you into a whole instance to initiate the fight.
Woo.
Which means if you die, you lose loot. Right? There's not going to, unless they have like a pay 100k to get your on his back, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. Although, if I can nitpick for a second, I think it would be cool to open it up and have to fight the chest right there in front of people. Because then you'd have people being like, whoa, dude, what the hell? What the hell's going on? Or they'll say like, good luck. Did you get anything good?
But then like safe spotting and stuff, there would be some method of like, it would be kind of funny to like go to, I'm trying to think of what's a popular spot like Blast Furnace and have a bunch of people just open up their caskets and start fighting shit there.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty funny to see. But you know what? What if people were to be doing clues in the wilderness? Let's say they're doing like Elite or Masters, and then they're like getting PK'd. Like, fuck it, I'm gonna chance it. And they go into like another instance. And I'm like, what? What just happened?
Where the hell did he go?
Anyways, so the mechanics of the fight are still being determined. However, it was suggested by one of you to have the Mimic Boss spawn floating ghostly NPCs wearing third age sets that attack you while the Mimic Boss throw various treasure trail items representing different attack styles. I'm going to stop right there. That sounds so fucking dumb.
That's so confusing.
That is so so you're going to have third age mage range and melee ghosts attacking you while he's throwing ranger boots at you. Is that what they're saying?
Possibly. Although I do like the idea of the third age ghosts. That's cool.
I want to fight like a mimic. I want to fight a mimic boss where, like, if you ever played Dark Souls, where like his mouth opens up, he's got teeth and a tongue, but he's got these like gangly arms and legs. Like, that's what I think of, like a mimic of like it's like an anglerfish, like in real life, not the ones that heal you or anything, but like where you know how it uses the light as a bait.
Yep.
To capture its prey. Like, have something like that. I don't want like its main thing to be like, I summon the powers of the guys from the fallen soldiers of the third age. Like, I don't want it to be like, I want it to be like this creature that like gets by killing people who are hunting for its treasure. I don't think third age, like in a lore sense, I don't think third age warriors were there finding chests. If anything, like maybe pirates.
Unless the third age is when they buried treasures when their kingdom was about to collapse. And the king was like, get all these ranger boots out of here, bury them in chests, put them in the ground, we'll come back and get them.
But like fallen soldiers though? Are you gonna be like, stuff them in a chest, let's go?
I think it is kind of cool having the ghost of the third age dudes, because like third age is very iconic. Like the third age lore wise is like an awesome timeline. The third age armor sets are very iconic as just being like very expensive. I never see anyone wearing it. It's mainly cosmetic, but you know if someone has it, man, these guys got a lot of money either in game or in real life.
Mm-hmm.
That would be kind of interesting to have them attacking you, but I don't want the boss just to sit there while it's happening. I would like the boss to be like the main part of the fight, like, or the mimic, having a bunch of mechanics with it.
Yeah. See, I don't know. When I think of like a mimic, I think of like some gangly thing that's trying to like bait you into fighting it, where like you have mechanics where he's raining down gold onto you or something. Parts of, like, you know what I mean? Maybe I just don't think of like a mimic as something that gives you items, as more something that would give you like just like money.
Yeah, the money thing would be cool. Yeah.
But in terms of the RuneScape aspect, like, I don't want it to be throwing items at me. That's like part of the fight is like knowledge of like ornament kit. Those dragon boots. That's melee. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like pre melee. I know I'm like kind of like making the argument silly, but like I don't know. Obviously that's not what the fight's gonna be. It's just like a suggestion that someone posted that they liked. But anyways, another suggestion was to have the mimic boss transform into random old school RuneScape iconic bosses that would imitate styles of that boss. Again, I don't like that because like I want the mimic to be like
unique,
true to like what it, because it's like a D&D-esque fantasy, right?
Yeah.
Like you want it to be like you don't want to open up a chest and then you're getting hit by General Grador's like schlong. You know what I mean? And you're like, now I'm fighting, and then he like transforms into like Obor or something, right?
Yeah.
I want it to be like, like a special.
I mean, the cool part about that though is it's harder to prepare for the fight. You need to bring like more Tribird gear, right?
I like the idea of having to bring Tribird gear, but like I want the mimic to be like, it entices you. Like I don't know, the fight is that like I've already tricked you thinking I'm treasure. That's how I got you here. Now I don't want it to be, this isn't even my final form. Watch me switch to Zilliana. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, we'll see what they do come up with.
Yeah. Should the mimic boss pass a poll? We will look at you all for feedback regarding overall mechanics of the fight and new reward suggestions. It is intended to be high risk, but high reward. So we start looking at more mimic boss reward ideas. So some of them suggested are Ring of Third Age allows you to transform into some Third Age items, Watson's outfit, Revenant Knight armor set.
It's a start, I guess.
It's a start. I saw a suggestion which I liked way more than the Third Age ring, which was they call it like a mimic ring, where you use an item on the ring, it destroys it, but when you equipped it, you turn into that item. Much like the Ring of Coins. Just for fun, like you put like a BGS or an AGS on it, and you just like Chris Archie kills someone and then someone turns into that on the ground.
I like it because it would also be like an item sink.
Yeah, it's an item sink.
A very small item sink, but still.
Like, some dude, like SparkMac probably, uses a TiVo on it.
Yeah.
But, like, you would never... Like, people do the Ring of Coins all the time, and back when OS Buddy was the thing, purple text, Bando's chest plate, and a pile, and you'd watch everyone run to it. I did that all the time.
Yeah.
Like, when I was just, like, when I did my 99 fletching grind, I did that all... It's so fun to watch everyone just, like, text, but imagine seeing, like, a TiVo that, like, everyone's like, and it would turn, skull tricking into something like that would be like funny as hell to see, because like right now it's like, I mean, skull tricking's bad, and I don't know, some people see it as luring, some people just see it as like
outsmarting,
because you know you don't want a skull, don't have attack other players on,
don't get greedy basically is the point, but
like it'd just be really funny just to see like that one dude like just turn into some crazy, like, random items. Like, any item you see on the ground now, you're going to click it and then feel like an idiot, potentially.
Yeah.
I prefer that over Third Age, but Watson's outfit is pretty cool. My only thing is, not many people know who Watson is or what he looks like, because he's in, you know, Zaya, Krend.
Yeah, but I think most people relate it to, like, Sherlock, right? Sherlock Holmes?
Yeah, I don't even... I'm not the biggest Sherlock Holmes fan.
I'm not either, but I know that he's like...
He's from that, but...
I imagine he's like the Q for James Bond. Right?
Yeah.
The guy who's like the information guy.
Yeah, but you walk around and a lot of people won't really understand... Like, where'd you get that fashion escape? What armor sets are you wearing? You know, how'd you come... Oh, it's just Watson's outfit. Like... You see someone walk around the NQ outfit, and you're like, huh, that's kind of funny. I did Stronghold Security.
Yeah.
Like, people are familiar with it, but... Then the Revenant Knight armor set.
It's cool.
Similar to NQ's, but same thing. Not many people... Well, I guess a lot of people at this point kind of have looked at Rev Caves.
Well, I think it's not going to be like he's going to be transparent when wearing it. I think it's going to be like the design. Because he has a very... Like, the way like the English knights would look. Oh, like a bucket helmet, they would have like that white tabard.
You don't think they'd have this, because we have the ghostly robes that are semi-transparent, and then the Anku, which is kind of transparent.
I mean, it could be because it's called Revenant Knight armor set, but my original thought was that it's going to be the armor he's wearing, because the design isn't already in the game. You can't really, like, you have the heraldic helmets, but
I mean, I prefer your idea over like what I was thinking. Like, I want to see like Praise the Sun memes. Go back to Dark Souls.
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah, it reminds me of the way, the knights would look in, like, old England times, right?
Yeah.
When they would have, it has a tabard, and in real life, it would be, you know, the white with the red cross, right?
Yeah.
So, something similar to that is what I would prefer, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And then, so poll question 11, should this be pulled, this
the Mimic Boss? Yes, it passed.
Yeah, okay, cool. And then a graphical change to the way clue scrolls look in your inventory.
Yeah, all you really need to know is the color coordinated. Beginner would be white, easy green, medium blue, hard purple, elite yellow.
Mm-hmm. So kind of like World of Warcraft or like other MMOs with the color tiers, yeah,
which really stuck on, because I mean that's how I label all my the value drops.
Yep.
I have it goes green, blue, purple, orange.
Yeah, I think it's a good color scheme.
Yes, it did pass.
The Master Scroll Book change. The Master Scroll Books currently allow you to store every type of teleport scroll, up to 1,000 of each type. So if you have one and you get one, you're going to drop elk or sell it. But they kind of wanted to be an item sink, and I guess they kind of want the book to have some sort of value too. So they want to offer the ability to use the excess scroll books by allowing you the chance to turn them into Watson for 10 to 20 Watson's teleport scrolls. They would directly teleport you outside of his house in the Kurend.
Yes, it did pass.
Nice, because I really like that idea.
Have you ever heard about that lure? I don't know if they've fixed it, but this was when it was first introduced, and I think it still might be going on.
What is it?
So if you already have this master scroll book that you can put your teleports in, and let's say you leave it in the bank, and now you're in the wilderness, and let's say you have like 2 mil worth of scrolls in there. If you're in the wilderness and somebody drops the scroll book or they trade it to you, and then they kill you, when you die, you'll drop all the scrolls that were in your original book. So it's like they're linked.
Really?
That was a thing before. I don't know if it still is. I'll check in a second, but
dude, we should just try it out.
it's interesting. Where like you wouldn't think that, but I remember hearing about it where someone, I don't know if they would trade it because that's kind of sketchy if some peeker trades it, but I could see it if they drop it on the floor and you're like, fine, I'm picking this up.
Yeah, like you're at like a popular clue spot, you dig, you're like, really? You drop it? Someone's like, oh, you like that's like 10K. Someone's doing like Slayer, and then boom, hit him with that tele block. Log. I could see them like fixing that, but I never even thought about that. And that's something I would have fallen for too.
So I see nothing here that's actually saying whether or not that lure is still existing, but it does say, upon death, the scrolls are removed from the book and dropped along with the empty book.
I guess the best way to figure out is does the book specify if it's empty or not? Like, are there different item IDs? You know what I mean? How there's like the trident empty versus a trident with charges?
Yeah, so it is empty. It lets you know when there's no scrolls in it.
Oh, okay.
I just want to try to see if I die with it, if I'll lose all my scrolls.
Well, like, what you could do is just don't take it out. Bank your master book that you have currently.
Yeah.
And then just pull one out of the GE and open it. See if they're connected.
Oh, true. Okay, so here's what's interesting. So I just purchased a master scroll book. You buy it and it'll have in brackets empty, but when I open it up, it shows all my scrolls in it. And it still says empty.
That's bait.
And I just used a teleport, but it still says empty.
My main question is, if you were to try and do this lure and like because it's connected to your account, like what if you drop it and then holy shit. Dude, I just thought of something really fucked up you could do, and I don't know if I don't know if we should talk about it on the podcast.
Well, what is it?
So, do you remember how people got tricked into losing their T-bows? Or not T-bows, their like crossbows and shit? How they'd be traded like noted items and shit that were like, or items that were worth more value because the GE wasn't being kept up?
Yep.
So what if you went to the Rev Caves and just dropped a couple bucks? You had a clan sitting there, unscholar's PVMing, air quotes PVMing, and then you had someone like casually drop empty bucks, and you just wait for someone to pick it up. And then you TB and kill them, and because it would instantly go most likely to their looting bag, even if they had nothing, it would probably still just get destroyed and dropped. And then you'd kill them and then get all their teleport scrolls. And then it's just a game of finding someone who likes to do clues.
We should try it. Do you want to log on your mobile and kill me? And I'll have my empty book. Sorry, this has gone a little off rails, but we're actually going to test this out right now because if it is possible to lure this way, I can't believe it hasn't been fixed because this is something that's like, it's not super recent.
So it's like the only dragon weapon I had. I'm using a Halley right now.
Yeah, Deegan comes out to kill me with a dragon halibur. It's taking forever. But okay, so I do have my empty book here, plus items, and I'm also skulled. What's the verdict?
I can't see because I'm on mobile. I got an empty scroll book.
Nothing in it.
Nothing in it.
Oh my god, if I lost everything in my other book, they just got wiped.
Check.
Well, can you open up the scroll book? Does it show you any scrolls in it?
I believe, well, it would show me mine. I have like none. I have 4 Keymaster teleports and 8 Elf Camp, Lunar Isle. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? I have like no teleports.
Okay, so yeah, we just spent a long time talking about this lure thing that actually doesn't even work. So good thing we checked, because my book did not lose any scrolls. Anyways, back to trading in your scroll book for Watson teleports. Yes, that did pass. I don't know if I mentioned that.
Alright, so let's go on to some quality of life changes. So starting off, the special attack orb. You can now click it on your mini-map, and it will do your special. So places you can't use it because you can't use it in PvP areas. You can't use it at the duel arena, PvP world outside of safe zones, Deadman mode outside of Barbarian Assault games and random events, Last Man Standing, Castle
that's
Wars.
a thing, isn't it?
Yep, the PvP to Czar Fight Pits, Clan Wars Instance Battles, Clan Wars Free for All, the Wilderness.
Okay,
Yep.
cool.
They recolored the god spells to match, blue, green, and red to each god.
Yep, nice.
Graphics update on the Xerix Talisman.
Whoa.
Does not match my lumberjack outfit anymore.
Looks neat, though.
Yeah, but I'm also done woodcutting, so it's okay. The one-off payment to Santa Bach, it's $1 mil.
Yeah, that's for the Brimhaven dungeon. It costs like $6.75 or $9.75.
Yep. Left-clicking on the dungeon entrance now automatically attempts to pay Santa Bach for entry. If you have the coins with you to buy permanent access, you will also be offered this.
That seems sketch. So if you want to go into that dungeon, don't bring a mill if you don't plan on accidentally clicking it.
Maybe if you're doing farm runs and you're like, I don't know. I have no, I don't know how you could accidentally do it, but whatever.
Sometimes someone's like, I can't remember how much money it is. I'm just going to bring 1 mil.
True. I never do that. I do 10K.
Yeah.
That's my number. You never know, right?
Yeah.
Die. They remove the cap on dark totem pieces. So now you can stack totem pieces instead of having to go back and attach the totem and make it one whole, because you can only get one base, middle, and top on your totem.
All right.
Before you get any more pieces. They expanded the GE history of 40.
Cool.
Yep. The Dead Man World 35 now has a grand exchange. The permanent Dead Man World.
Now they want to bring. They've been asking for this for months. Why are they just doing it now?
Well, please know this world will become inaccessible right after the update to enable devs live testing. NPCs above level 100 combat now have a chance of dropping tier 5. It now matches the seasonal and tournament worlds. Tier 1 emblems on the Wilderness Lair have been greatly improved. I'm pretty sure this is for Dead Man permanent still. I don't know if you could be getting tier 5s in the normal worlds.
Yeah.
I hope not. But, yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Broken items on PvP death. The broken item system has been brought into permanent Deadman mode. Same as, you get just the broken version of the item on death. And the PKer receives coins based on the repair price. Speak to Purdy to repair your broken equipment. All that good stuff. Above level 20, you just lose the items. And they turn to coins. The looting bag. So, on permanent Deadman worlds, players may put things into the looting bag anywhere outside of guarded zones. Temple trekking and burger to rot minigame is now available to Deadman mode.
Okay.
And so now you can get the lumberjack outfit. Although training in instance areas does not normally give experience to Deadman worlds, some Slayer experience for killing the grotesque guardians and Alchemical Hydra will now be rewarded.
Okay.
The seed box is now able to be purchased from the farmer at Teeth Farming.
Yep.
When killed via PvP, it will just attempt to move its contents to your bank before loot is distributed to the PKer. This means any stacks of seeds in the seed box will be possible to be acquired as a part of the bank key.
Nice.
Song of the Elves, and rewards and extras. So everything passed. And now's the chance for them to go more in depth with the smaller rewards and features that you'd like to see. Now, there'll be a second poll blog that will be posted with the top suggestions and ideas for minor content in the Crystal City. If you'd like to get involved, go over to Reddit pretty much and the official forums and tweet. You may remember they decided not to pull the crystal armor in the first poll as you weren't happy with the final design in terms of stats and set effect, and neither were we. So to make sure we get it right, we are also holding a separate discussion. You can alternatively, from on Reddit and all that stuff, you can also email them. And so I want to take a moment to explain why there was issues. And the biggest thing was that it gave really good stats with no negative bonuses to your attacks.
Yeah, so I know some people complaining because this would be like a new tri-breeding outfit. It's a hybrid. Or no. a tri-Briting armor set, so like PKing and stuff, you don't have to swap between all these different gears as much.
Yep, mate. And a big thing would be also PVM. This would be the go-to armor set for tanking Bandos, for tanking like.
Would it? Because right now you're using the Bandos armor to tank.
Well, that's so expensive.
It's expensive, but you get offense stats too.
The range, but if you're tanking, you don't care about offense stats.
No, but it's nice because like if I'm tanking, I'm already at a disadvantage for getting the kills. But with the reason I kind of like tanking is because now I have the Serpentine helmet, the Bandos top and bottom. I bring the Dragon Fire Shield.
But like if we just look at the armor's tops and bottoms, not the shields and all that, because you'd be bringing them for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's the total for like the helmet and the Bandos top and bottoms for like range defense? Like, you look it up quickly in the wiki, because I honestly don't remember.
So range defense for the top is 133, and the legs are 93.
Yeah. So and like the Serp helm, I don't know, but it's probably like super minor in terms of range stats. The total set for the crystal armor is 354 at head, bottom, and legs for range defense. Because as a tank, you're going to be praying melee. It does.
So it would be like 50, like with the Serpentine helmet and the Bandos top and legs. You're only 50 or so range defense lower. But you get offense stats. That's my argument.
And do they have negative magic? What's their magic defense bonuses? Do they have any?
So Serpentine helmet is 0, chest is -6, tassets are -4.
Okay, it's minor. It's 0 for the originally proposed mage defense. It's 0. And like the mage and range is kind of where you take, I mean, you do take damage from melee, but you're also praying it and stepping under and trying to negate that as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the offensive bonus would be nice. You want your tank to kind of last as long as possible. Like if they're doing a little bit of damage, it's like, that's nice, but you know, you have 2 or 3 other people doing it. Also, the price, you know what I mean? The entry of like price to have those stats. And then you can have better defensive stats via crystal armor is a pretty big deal. And like you don't like lose, you don't like air quotes like lose offensive stats for wearing crystal. It's just like Bandos. You're at this point you're wearing Bandos. You're losing defense for offensive, right?
Yeah, you're trading it in.
But if you're tanking, you kind of want the tank stuff. So like there's things like that where the crystal armor will just trump. And then also when it comes to like what was brought upon me, which affects realistically no one, so it's not a big deal, but this would be your next go-to armor to do Inferno. You would bring this to do Inferno.
I can see
because
that.
It's or like even doing like Jad or something, right? Doing fight caves.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to like really pry about this because I was like, are you serious? And so the main arguments I was seeing is that with Inferno like specifically, but you know, Jad too, or like Fire Cape stuff, is that for both of them, you get to a point where you have to like tank the range and pray against the mage.
Right.
Without getting all sweaty, where it's like, well, you can pray flick, like not like your average player, right? Your average player who's doing it. The defense bonuses are so high on range that like it trumps the Justichar's base defense stats for range, and that's 100 mil for a whole set. You get like, and also the Justichar's set is like whatever your attack style is, you get a bonus on like defense. But if you're like maging, you know what I mean? In Justicar, that damage reduction is a lot less. But you now just pray mage and like you don't have to worry as much about the rangers messing you up. And like the price, like sure, like you have to like spend time to get the gear at the gauntlet, but you can enjoy content and like play the game and have some fun, which is what the average person wants to do, as opposed to saving up 100 mil to buy a set of armor. And this is effectively better because like now you, instead of going in with like an armored chest plate and ancestral legs to do your switches for mage, or like ranging, you just camp crystal armor, which gives you a lot more inventory slots and like all this stuff that like you can just camp your arcane shield and inferno, or like your book of law, I guess, if you're a fight case, whatever like you're doing, if you're doing like a crossbow type thing, or blowpipe, whatever, like you're not like you gain really good stats, and there's the off is like you lose some damage, but it's kind of a little bit too much.
Okay, so I can see why they're reworking it then.
Yeah, and even then, there's not too many examples, but like if it makes the inferno a lot easier, then that worries me, because I want like I think of myself as like, because this stuff's coming out in like a couple months, right?
Yeah.
If we're going with the same timeline as last year, like
I'm gonna go with June.
Yeah, like June, July-ish, like
before the summer.
Yeah, I would like to be doing inferno attempts by the end of the year, but if this made it a lot easier for me to do it, like I'm gonna feel cheated, because in my mind I'm thinking it's gonna take me like 2 months to do it. Right? Yeah. I'm no god. Like I'm not like one tick prey flicking, like, you know what I mean? Like doing all this like elitist, like, wow, you're not one ticking at Verzik? Like, are you serious? like it, like, yeah, that would just kind of worry me. But it's nice that I guess a lot of people have brought it up, that there are like, maybe it's too strong. And then the main thing is, once this gets brought in, because the passive bonus is that your crystal weapons do more damage.
Yep.
You're not able to bring a mage they're never ever going to be able to bring in a mage variation of crystal. There's not going to be a crystal staff ever coming into the game.
It would have to be separate. It would have to be on par with the shield, where the armor sets does nothing for the shield, right? So that's what the staff would happen.
But like, it would work with the bow. It would work with the sword that they want to bring into the game.
Yeah, the halberd.
It would have to. Like, they couldn't just bring in a staff that it would. You know what I mean? To keep it consistent.
Yeah.
They'd have to. They couldn't just bring. Oh yeah, for this one weapon, because eventually someone's gonna go, next year quality of life, can we just keep it consistent?
But Jagex don't do consistent.
But they'd have to. You can't say like they're gonna be inconsistent just to.
They're inconsistent all the time.
Like, if they can't do a batch of updates and be like, we're gonna cherry pick this one item and not include it. Well, like a weapon, I should say. We have the mage and range, but the mage, no. And it's only because, like, but if they fix this item stuff, if they fix the armors, then they will be able to. So if they added like a crystal staff, I hate to say it, but it would probably work like a trident.
Yeah, that's kind of what they're going with, right?
Yeah, because the crystal bow, right? How the crystal bow works and all that. And the reason why is that the trident, like, you're so tanky, and it's the way the tridents and stuff work. There's no mage accuracy debuffs. Like, you're gonna, like, it would be so strong.
Yeah.
Also, last thing I'll mention is that, like, it would also be good, really good for budget raids.
Yeah, the new Void.
Yeah, it would potentially replace, which is fine. I'm not saying you need, like, I hate the idea when someone asks, what do I need? And my answer is Elite Void. I really hate that as, like, that's a good beginner setup. Like, I think it's stupid, because it's like, go do your hard diaries and then sit at pest control for like 20, 30 hours.
I'd be okay with like the elven armor, the crystal armor being a step up from Void, because now it's kind of like the Barrow's gloves. You're like, yeah, you can get Void, but if you really want the best gear, you got to complete some quests. And some hard quests, too.
The Void, Elite Void, it's kind of in that same zone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess Elite Void would be.
It would be like, you lose on some damage, but you gain crazy defensive stats. Yeah. Because Void, you're wearing paper.
Yeah, that's true.
But they've looked at it. Those are just like the only reasons that cause I didn't even realize how good the crystal armor was when we talked about it. And then people were kind of like going off and like, yeah, it's gonna fuck everything up. I mean, they're, being a little overly dramatic, but it would change the game. And obviously, to get it, you'd have to do the gauntlet and stuff and interact with Periptonus. But it's also gated behind like a lot of 70s and whatnot. and it would be like a dragon's. Like I'm thinking that Priptonez is like a step up from Dragon Slayer 2 in terms of difficulty. Where like as of right now, like we did it on release, but there are people that are like getting ready to get their Barrel Gloves, and then Monkey Madness 2, and then Dragon, like, you know what I mean? People are like still working towards Dragon Slayer 2.
It's a hard quest too.
It's a hard quest. I mean, it's worth it if you're working towards it. Like, keep doing it. It's
100% do it. It's a fun quest. It's amazingly well done quest.
Even like taking out of the fact that like it unlocks Vorkath as a boss to PVM and learn.
The Mythic Cape is dope.
It's cool as hell, but like the whole experience of that quest was like perfect.
Mm-hmm. The difficulty was locked behind the bosses, not so much, like obstacles.
It's a quest that you're going to spend 2 hours doing, but it feels like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Where normally you're doing a 30-minute quest and it feels like 2 hours.
Yeah.
But if Priptonez, the Song of Elves, like the next step up from that in terms of like difficulty, item requirements, and like people setting goals and going for that, and then having to grind out the crystal armor, like they definitely should be rewarded. Like this armor in general should be an alternative. It just shouldn't be the best. Like I don't think it should be better than Justicar.
Yeah.
Like
fair enough.
Its uses, but it definitely should be like good. You should be rewarded. It should be a strong alternative.
It's the problem they always have with these armors. They can't be the new best in slot, but they can't be so useless that no one's ever going to use it.
It can't be so useless and like niche like the Elder Maul, where they add one thing to the game, Hydra or Konar, and it takes the price from like 65 mil to like 15 mil.
Yeah, exactly.
In a swoop. Like,
they'll have to revisit it. They got a hard task ahead of them, so hopefully they figure it out.
Hopefully, like, it sits around where like there's Tormented Bracelet, Ferocious Gloves, and Barrel Gloves.
Yep.
Where it's like, it's good. It's definitely really good to do, but if you eventually you're gonna want to look at getting alternatives that are better in these scenarios when you're doing this type of stuff. Like,
I mean, it's probably gonna be like the Bludgeon, where it sits in your bank until one specific spot. There might be like 5 scenarios you're gonna use it in. It seems what people want. They want like niche uses.
Yeah, I just don't want. Yeah. But yeah. Anyways, we're looking over that stuff. So hopefully they give it more room to grow. Like, I would love to see a mage variant of Crystal. Like, imagine shooting like these glass, like shard-esque bolts at people.
Yeah, but I think it'll be some time since we did just get the Sanguinesti staff. It'd probably be some time before they come back with just another mage weapon that worked like that.
Yeah, but like I would like to see like a mage variant of Crystal.
Yeah.
And if they probably want to keep that door open at least. That's pretty much it for the news.
Yeah, so now let's move on to some community chatter, because a few things were going on this week. First off, you had mentioned how Jagex increased the limit on the Grand Exchange from 20 to 40. Well, Deegan, you got your little bit of a loot tracker. RuneLite came out with the Grand Exchange history.
Yep.
That you were asking for. So now it will keep up to 1 month of your history, and you'll need to go on a website, I believe, to access this. Okay, so in order to access this like Grand Exchange tracker, you need to go onto the RuneLite website, so it's runelite.net, and then you need to sign up and log in.
Yeah, is phishing sites still an issue?
It might be, so that's why be careful. Either go through their Discord or runelite.net, right?
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, use at your own risk, I suppose, as always. It's sad you have to say that about checking out these other sites, but
yeah,
always use them at your own discretion.
Yeah.
So that exists now. And I've been watching a bunch of these, area restricted Ultimate Iron Man series. Mm-hmm. I've been kind of addicted, and now my YouTube recommendation list is just filled with all these new ones that pop up every single day. It's a trend that really caught on, but I'm not complaining, because I feel like Settled, if he might not have been the first one to have done this, but his quality has caused a lot of people to step their game up.
Yeah.
So then you got some people like Verf, who does his Karamja only.
Yep.
Turtletails is Prifdina's only.
I've never seen Turtletails's. The only ones I've seen a couple of the series, because like we talked about it last episode. What making one and what would make one good versus like one that's not good. But Verf and Settled are like the only ones I've seen that I've really enjoyed. I've never seen. Is it Turtletail?
Yeah. So his is Prifdina's. It's interesting because it's such a terrible area to play.
Yeah. What's his end game? Because I know those two have very clear end games, which make it like pretty hype.
Well, right now it's kind of what Prifdina's brings to the game.
Oh, true.
Right? The city. So in his series, he talks about like that's what really got him wanting to do this, is that the city will eventually be unlocked. So it's an interesting series.
You know, it's actually would play out. I'm gonna check out the series actually, because you're gonna see him do all these crazy weird methods, right? These things that we've never thought of training.
Yep.
And it'll be like an archive of like before and after, like season 1 of his account, and then season 2 when or if you watch like animes or anything like that, where it's like the arc, how like those go in like arcs and stuff.
How Goku's like hitting Super Saiyan 17 now. Like
sure, or like one of the build to fight Frieza.
Yeah,
and then like now it's Cell or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Where there's like different like storylines that kind of build on each other, like not storylines, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like the build up to like he's getting ready, he's trying to quickly get prepared for this new city to open up, and then now he's going to be going in doing the quest. Hopefully, hopefully is a way to do the quest, and then now he gets to like explore this city and like all this content that like I can't train mining yet, but I don't know anything about that area, so maybe there's a way to train mining. Like, yeah, I don't know. Definitely interesting though.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on. I kind of cut you off.
No, I was just saying how like it started this trend. I've been watching them a lot, and I'm starting to learn these new tricks that might have been common knowledge in the Ultimate Iron Man community.
Yep.
But I don't really pay attention, and there's not very many Ultimate Iron Man YouTube creators or content creators that are super big, right? Like,
yeah,
there's a few of them, but now you got these other juggernauts that are coming to the game because they're doing these like super interesting content, and it's fun. I've mentioned this before, but I think like the first area restricted account that I remember watching is one called PvP Ultimate Iron or UIM, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy just played an Ultimate Iron Man only in PvP worlds, which was kind of interesting because he had to play really safe and not get killed. The series eventually fell off, and he stopped playing the game entirely. And it was interesting to watch. Mind you, go back and watch it. It's
rough around the edges.
It was pretty rough, mainly because when he did get killed, he got very salty. And
what do you expect?
Yeah, so it's like, it's imagine watching Settle do his series, gets to Theater Blood, and he dies, and then he throws a tantrum.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, what?
or he's just like doing agility. I'm having hey, I fell again. You know what I mean? Like when like in the first couple episodes when he's like on like it's just him getting mad,
starting to lose his fucking mind over the game. Gonna kill the 20th, the 200th, I don't know, vampire dude. And great, he didn't drop what I needed again. This stupid game. God damn it! He's just like freaking out on stream.
Like I don't want to spoil it, but like the montage of training.
Okay.
It's like, well, okay, I need a little break. No. It's like I'm just like AFK training for like half a video.
That was funny, yeah. Anyways, that's a series I remember watching, and I kind of liked it. It was the only thing that was out at the time. So this was years ago, and I mean like 2013, 2014.
Yeah, like when the mode first came out.
Yeah. Anyways, I was watching Verf's video, and he was talking about how, so he's the Kramja only Ultimate Iron Man, and he was talking about how one of the methods he's able to complete medium clues on the island.
How?
So it sounds super difficult because medium clue scrolls range between, I think it's 3 and 4 steps to get the casket.
But how do you...
Putting it like simply, you'd have to be really lucky getting the one medium clue scroll where all your steps are on Kramja.
Yeah.
Which is like...
What are the chances?
But there's actually turns out there's a method on how it's still very hard to complete one, but it's still possible. So what you do is clue scrolls will last on the ground for 3 minutes. And this is called clue scroll juggling.
Oh no, I don't
so you
like
get
this.
3 medium clue scrolls, by picking one up when you get one and then dropping it, killing a bunch, picking it up after a minute or two, dropping it. And you do this until you get about 3. 3's, I guess, is an easy number to manage. But what's interesting is you can pick each of the unique medium clue scrolls up, and you can see what steps it has, right?
Okay.
So let's say you can pick one up, and it has 1 Karamja step as the first one. So you complete that, and you still have the other 2 on the ground. The next step on that new one that you just got isn't a Karamja step. But if one of the other ones were Karamja step that you originally got, that will add to your casket. So each...
Okay, wait, you have to
I'll say this again. So when you're doing a medium clue scroll and you're trying to get to your 3rd or 4th step to get the casket, when you get those first 3 clue scrolls on the ground, they all add together towards that one casket. They don't have separate caskets for each.
Let's just say you get a clue scroll and let's just pretend it's just, I don't know if this is the case, but the reward casket is automatically, you need to do 4 steps.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to get 4 steps in one clue scroll. It's just 4 in general, as long as they're being juggled.
Yeah, so the 3 you have there, as long as there's 4 steps between those 3 clue scrolls you have.
Okay. What happens if one of them despawns, though?
You just make sure they don't.
But, like...
If it despawns, it's gone. That's just it.
The whole like, tally that you've built up towards a casket is gone?
I don't believe so, but if you do receive a new clue scroll, it resets it.
Okay.
So it's not like you can just pick up a Karamja, do it until there's no more steps, and then go back to killing whatever it is that drops medium clue scrolls.
So you get 3 and then you start.
And then you start and you just hope you're lucky with it.
And then if it's like you're unlucky, then you just try and get another one?
You get another 3 clue scrolls.
Oh, dude.
You drop them and start all over
That's
again.
huge.
So
he could get like ranger boots. Wait, what kind of medium? What kind of clues can he get?
He's doing medium by killing harpy bug swarms.
Holy shit! I do not envy him.
That's the
awful.
Best way of doing it, and I think he killed 40,000 of them and then he's completed 2 out of those 40,000. So, you might be listening and be like, "Wow, that seems like a bug that needs to change." I mean, only people doing this Ultra Ironman and with restricted accounts, and it takes a lot of work just to get one casket. It was like 24,000 harpy bug swarms killed before he got his first casket.
Yeah, that's actually really interesting. That opens up like a lot. Like, I wonder if Settled will start doing something like that. Then I wonder if Turtle Tails. There's probably like none.
It's hard because like you have to. Because not only do you need to find a monster that drops it, but you don't want to be killing like tough monsters either. That's why he's killing harpy bug swarms. He got his Slayer level requirement to kill those because they have low HP. They're like the lowest HP for a clue scroll monster.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm probably explained that terribly.
No, I totally get that.
Okay. Daylight savings time on the week, and I lost an hour of sleep. And
that just kind of blows my mind.
All right. Well, there's a second thing he shows, which is cool, on how you can force spawn the monsters that come from digging up a coordinate clue. So Saradomin Mage or the Armadillo or Bandos monsters for elite clue scrolls.
Okay.
And the way he has videos on this, so if you want to go watch how he actually does and explains it a lot better than I do, check out his channel. That's where I saw these, obviously. But to do this, you get your coordinate clue, you go dig in the area, then as soon as it spawns, you run far enough away that he de-aggroes, and then you run back and dig up another one, and he'll wander around the area he spawned for like 10 minutes before he despawns. So why this could be good is the Bandos and the Armadillo monsters from the Elite Clue Scrolls, they have a 1 in 1 million chance of dropping the Bandos boots and the Armadillo helmet. So if you really wanted to, I mean, these guys are playing an Ultimate Iron Man restricted account, so they're a bit of a masochist already.
Yeah.
So doing this is probably like, yeah, it's just another part of the grind. So 1 in 1 million is a lot, but you could force spawn a bunch of different Bandos guys and keep doing it until you get your boots. I mean,
is it just rare. Bandos and Arma? Or what?
Saradomin Mage too, but those are the only 3 that spawn from clues, right?
What would the Mage drop? A 1 in 1 million. So he's just like trying to hit the lottery. Gambler's fallacy at its finest right here.
Yeah. So
saving up all that RNG.
Sarah Doman mages drop battle staff, so that might be handy if you need it to. Let's say you want an Alk, you don't want to get fire runes, you get one of those staffs. But really, why this would be useful is the Bandos Guardian and the Armadillo Guardian dude from the Elite Clues.
Okay.
Again, super rare to get it, but it's just something that's like it's like getting the Ranger boots for the medium clue scrolls as well.
Yeah.
Right? It's so hard to get a casket, let alone getting the medium clues.
Hey man, if you open yourself up to, it's like, well, I guess the better way is you miss every shot you don't take.
Yeah.
Like, how crazy would it be if a Karamja only Iron Man had like an Armadillo helmet?
That'd be pretty nuts.
Like, that would be, everyone would be like, that account, that's not legit. And like, you check on my YouTube channel, and you're like, what? Like, dude, that's nuts. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's cool.
I really want to try an Ultimate Iron Man now, and just to mess around with some of that weird stuff. That's really cool.
It is super interesting, and that's what I like watching with these series. You learn these new things, but also you see all these YouTubers that are making these series now. They kind of interact with one another and exchange little tidbits of information. Because reading through the YouTube comments, Turtletail was saying how he's going to use his lamps on fishing because he needs like whatever level it is for trout.
Okay.
In order to, and that's when you can start training your fishing on Improv Dinas. And then, Tyranwin. And by the way, he pronounces it Tyrannin. I've always pronounced it Tyranwin with the W, so I don't know. I guess I'm an idiot. But then you see Verf would comment being like, I would use those lamps on Hunter and just get the evil Bob to get your fishing experience, the random event from that. It's interesting to see these little tricks and the ways they have it all planned out. I mean, I don't have the time or the patience for it, but hell, I'll sit back and watch 15-minute video every week on what they did.
Damn, that's cool.
Yeah, so highly recommend that, watching those. They're fun. Anyways, Deegan, you did some digging through. You got some breaking news. And
then we segue this into conspiracy music. Not yet, but I don't even know how to start this off. But so Venezuela,
we got some real world news first, right?
Yeah. So recently, Venezuela has been getting like power outage issues. It started off with like something to do with coal shortage, and I don't know, most of their power is based on coal or something like that. I don't know, whatever. That happened on like the 7th of March. And at the time when I saw an article that like had just come out, the country lost power, and then over the course of 3 days, they restored it, but due to what they say is like American cyber attacks on their power grid, 16 of the states have no power, and 6 of them have partial power. And I don't know who it was, but someone made like a joke being like, Dragon Bones are gonna be worth so much. I honestly can't remember who said it, but that kind of sat in the back of my mind. And then when I saw that article, I was like, oh, it's still going on. I started reading. It's just whatever. There's some like political stuff between like Venezuela super pissed at USA and all that stuff, whatever. But then I started to like dig around and look at a bunch of common items that were like farmed by gold farmers. And the connection is that your average gold farmer is from Venezuela. And over the course of the 3 days of this power outage, there were things like red chinchompas, wines of Zamrock, dragon bones. I looked at like a couple other items, and I didn't put them. I made like a quick little meme picture, but those all went up 200 GP in 3 days. Like they very clearly spiked. Like the image I made is from like a week.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the red chins, that's like partially through the week, and then you can see you can actually see which days the power outage goes, because like the prices jump up, and it's all very consistent. Like Zara scales went up, I believe 20 GP at the time. It's just, I don't know. I just thought it was like really interesting to see that like global issues, that like a country's going without power, and it actually affects like, hey, if you're training prayer and you have D-Bone, sell them right now. Well, maybe not right now at the time you listen to it. Well, check to see what the power issue is in Venezuela. But like honestly, by the time we're listening now, they could have gone up like 400 gold in the past like week if they're still having issues. The main thing is that they had an issue. They said they fixed it, but then like they have strong evidence that USA has been fucking with their power grid to the point where it's cost them hundreds of millions of dollars. Like I've heard the numbers where it's in the article.
It's costing me hundreds of millions of GP buying these resources.
Well, I actually, when I noticed this, because I've been farming Zalra and stuff that I mentioned, I just sold all my Zalra related stuff, my D-bones, like everything related. If you're like on the hunter grind, like look at the prices, sell your chins now. But like, it's just weird that like, if you can think of items like nature runes, that was another, someone brought it up in the CC. I know their name, but I don't know if they want me to, I don't know. I don't want to say their names.
Anonymous scaper.
But ask the question, why the fuck are nature runes so expensive now? What happened? And I'm like, dude, Venezuela power outage. Like, that's fine. He's like, no. But there's like consistency of like these items, like the rune crafting gold farmers, like dragon bones are like crazily gold farmed. Same with Zalra and all this stuff, and they've all like started to like shoot up in price, and it, like at the same margins too, like the same percentages and the same, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's super weird to like see that go down, and depending on like if America claims like wages war on Venezuela because they have like big oil reserves or something that they've been sitting on, and you know we're gonna see like their like leader probably get killed, and then dictatorship, and then all that typical.
So what you're saying is stock up on Dragon Bones now?
No, sell.
Okay, true.
Well, like, it depends if they can get their power back, but like it's kind of crazy that like it's noticeable.
You know that meme where it shows like the brain, and then as it progresses down, it like shows it expanding and exploding.
Oh yeah,
and,
yeah.
It's gonna be like that, and it's gonna be like one tier. It'll be like watch the Q&As to see what items to merch.
Yeah,
and then the last tier, watch like BBC news.
Not even get your rot smelly buddies to DDoS a power like the or like hack into the power grid of a country and shut it down for a couple hours and then do your flips.
I think it's funny if you're just like reading like news articles and you're just like, Venezuela is saying they're gonna have some power problems the next week.
You get
probably
like
stock up right now.
Like a PhD in like geopolitical like theories and stuff like that, and you like learn about all this crazy politics, and you get really into it. Start working for like working at the White House, and you're like, we're gonna be waging. Okay, it's coming up. Bye. We're gonna Trump. One more day. Let the power outage continue for one more. Come on.
I hit my GE limit.
Baron, I see you on your phone. I see you killing Zara on your phone. Give me your phone.
Let me use your alts. I let you use mine 2 weeks ago.
But like, yeah, I don't know. I thought it was very.
Yeah, that's cool. It's a weird relation.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Doesn't mean it's a causation, but there's a correlation doesn't mean causation. Is that the term?
Yeah. Yes.
There's some parallels.
Yeah.
Some whatever.
Anyways, I think it's safe for us to move on now. Normally, this is the segment where we go teleport back in time, but nothing happened this week.
Yeah.
It does seem like, I mean, this is when they're a smaller team, so obviously having weekly updates isn't always achievable. But down the road, you're going to start seeing more pumped out as they hire more people, right?
Well, as of right now, their team is what, 3 people?
Something
is
like
it
that.
just like our brothers at this point?
I think they have like one extra person.
Yeah, like
two
a
extra
buddy
people.
they went to school with or something, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next week, we'll see what happened.
I will take the time to say I am excited for when the duping comes into Classic. Because
that was
someone made a program that allowed you just to dupe items.
Yeah.
And they definitely couldn't reset servers. And the way they found out is they said, whoever tells us gets permanent membership forever. Person told them, banned.
That stories, I've heard that same thing happen a few different times with different bugs and stuff.
In companies.
Even with Jagex. I know that's happened.
I know
more than
Blizzard was being like DDoS, or was it Blizzard? Was being like DDoS, and it was by like a group of people, and they're like, all right, whoever's doing this, like, come tell us. We'll give you a job to prevent this. And then they were just like talking to the FBI, and they went and arrested the dude. Or maybe it was
PS4, the guy I heard did get a job, though.
Okay, it's PS4, the guy got a job. I think it's Blizzard was like talking to the FBI. I was like, we're going to give this guy a job, quotes. Your job is to sit in prison for the rest of your life.
Burn.
See ya, noob.
Go make some license plates.
Yep.
Oh, boy. But we can hopefully move on to lore. I say that because last week I was all ready to do it, recorded the lore, then my recording software and editing software just kept crashing and would not let me have that voice track.
Yeah.
I tried it 3 times and it kept crashing on me. So here we go.
So we've been having some editing issues. No.
Alrighty, though. Now that we're here, let's move on to that Grand Exchange where we can tell you a little bit about things you can do to help us out, I guess.
Yeah.
Weird segue, but you know what? That's how we're doing it. So first things first, if you like audiobooks or maybe just regular books, or maybe you just like podcasts and you want to check out audiobooks, you can go to audibletrial.com/wild. You get a free month and a free audiobook.
Yep.
So
perfect for playing RuneScape. Hey, are you me? Are you out of things to watch on Netflix and you really dislike Winter Todd? Audiobook might be the answer.
Hell yeah. How are you out of Netflix shows? I have so many to watch. And I'm sitting here watching RuneScape videos on YouTube.
True. Oh, I'm going to start like diving into some. I want to figure out some of this stuff. That's really neat because I've been interested in my Ultimate Iron, like making Ultimate Iron Man stuff. But if there's like hidden tech like that I like.
There's got to be tons.
How do people like go down that rabbit hole? Like, who was like, well, what if I juggle clues? Can I add the rewards up?
Probably takes an idea, being like, wonder what happens. And then they realize maybe I can get like a bunch of medium clues and get like 4 caskets. And they're just like, nope, I can't. But what I can do is this. So it's kind of cool. And Settled also, I haven't watched it yet, but it's another video. And he talks about like inventory and bank management on an Ultimate Iron Man using the Zulrah casket. So I guess there's techniques on ways you can
organize your inventory in a certain way to get loot that you want.
Yeah, I guess so. And how to like prioritize what items you're putting in that versus what items are going in your looting bag, what items are whatever.
Yep.
But yeah, anyways, audibletrial.com/wild if you want to check out some of those audiobooks. Or you can support the show directly by going to patreon.com/thewildernesspodcast. Our supporter of the week is Hugo. So thank you very much for supporting the show. Man, I talked back in August how I wanted to do these like one-on-one conversations or / interviews. My idea was like the way Joe Rogan does his podcast, but doing that with the topics being RuneScape related, obviously, right? So this week, I had some people give me suggestions on who to reach out with, and it kind of got me motivated to actually sit down and do these. Because the problem is I had some lined up back in September, but then school started, and I realized it was really hard to coordinate a proper time where we could both sit down and record.
And then time zones is a big factor. You're like, oh, you're 5 hours ahead of me? Well, I get home every day at like 6. So,
yeah.
Oh, you go to bed early, though. Shit.
You know? Yeah, because they might have a job.
Yeah.
So it does get tricky. But, you know, people suggesting got me kind of motivated. I reached out to a bunch of different people that I wanted to talk with, and I have got some responses about setting it up in the next few weeks. Yeah, I don't know. That should be a lot of fun, and it's something I've wanted to do for a while, and it's just like I got busy, and then I was like, I'm afraid if I tackle this little side project as well, I might overwhelm myself, because I tend to do that a lot. I get way too overambitious with something, and then I just step back and go, what the hell? I can't do any of this. What am I doing?
Yeah.
So, you know, I've decided to jump in with this one and kind of actually get it going.
Yeah, I feel like I do the same, but I'm like, here's one reason why I don't like it. Delete. And I'm just like,
true.
oh, fuck.
Yeah, so ideally in the next few weeks, we'll be able to sit down and record it. The reason I'm bringing this up now is because when we opened Patreon, this was something that I was like, oh, now that we have Patreon open, this is what I also want to do as like a bonus thing.
Yeah.
So with these extra episodes, I want to call them Wild Talks. That's my idea.
Yeah.
Just sit down and talk with them. They'll come out with under the same podcast name, but the difference is they're going to come out a little bit earlier for Patreon supporters. But hey, let's say you don't have the money or you just don't want to put any money in for us, like in supporting us. That's totally fine. You'll eventually get it as well. It'll come out with the original cast just probably like a week later or something.
Yeah, the audio quality would be very bad, though, if you want the high definition, the good stuff.
Go out of my way to make it sound bad.
Just have like a fan going and like clearly added. Or like audience laughter, just add laugh tracks. That's what you gotta do.
Imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so thank you very much for supporting it, and hopefully in the next few weeks you guys will get the first episode of it. Yeah, I am pretty excited for that. It should be a lot of fun. Anyways, now this is where we get to tell you about what we got going on with the show. First things first, we got a little book club going on. I think we're on week like 5 or 6 right now, but we're not super far in the book. We're like 15 chapters in. So what we're doing is we're reading the Runescape novels written by T.S. Church. We're starting with Betrayal at Falador. It's actually a pretty good read. I'm enjoying it a lot. I won't do any spoilers, even slight spoilers, but just some of the references are pretty cool, and the way they describe certain pieces of armor and like how that world sees that armor, and just the way they put the whole world and how big it actually is. It really changes your perspective, and for me, it makes the game a little bit more fun knowing that like, oh, running from Falador to Taverley, it takes me 10 seconds, but I can kind of pretend, or if I want to immerse myself, like, no, this is actually like a 2-day hike to get there.
And I'm just one fast boy.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. So if you want to jump in and read the books as well, read along with us, maybe talk about the chapters, you can definitely do that on Discord, and we'll do it each week. Mm-hmm. And we're going to be doing another event. So last week I was looking for some suggestions, and I had a few ideas of things I wanted to do. But I think what we're going to do for our next event is an old school RuneScape Jeopardy event. And I feel like it would be a nice little tribute to Alex Trebek as well. I don't know if you heard the news, but he was diagnosed with cancer. So I feel like it's like perfectly suiting to have like a tribute towards that. And I know growing up, we watched a lot of Jeopardy.
Oh, yeah.
So it should be a lot of fun. If you don't know what Jeopardy is, it's just like this game show where it's weird, barely makes sense, but it does. But they, instead of asking the question and then you answer it, they give you the answer and then you have to say the question.
Yeah.
It's not as simple as that.
This person is the most popular J-Mod, who is like Mod Ash, right?
Yeah, who is Mod Ash? Or yeah, it would be like, I am the most famous RuneScape player in all history.
First one to obtain 99 no skill. I think that actually might be like a Jeopardy question.
I know RuneScape was a question on there.
Okay, yeah, maybe
sorry,
I was
the answer.
Yeah.
And it was, what is RuneScape? So, anyways, it's going to be all old school RuneScape related, and there's going to be like, I have to look into it, but there's templates I can use online, but there's going to be different categories, like 6 of them, let's just say. Each category, let's say if you won every single question, you get, it would equal to 1.5 mil per category. So, potential to make a lot of money.
But what if you get one wrong, though? Do you go in the negatives, have to give money up?
Yeah, you have to pitch in. No, you wouldn't walk away with any money, because it is possible for you to lose all your money. So yeah, maybe if you don't know what it is, check an episode or 2 out on YouTube. They're out there. And I don't have a date right now, and I'm going to wait to see how my schooling looks, because I don't know. I don't want to put a date and then I get these huge final projects dropped on me. So we'll see how that goes. But it will work similar to the Connect 4 tournament, where you'll need to sign up. Probably do like 3 to 5 players per round, and if enough people are interested, I can do multiple rounds in a day, or maybe
throw whatever, and then have like a turn. You know how like the winner goes on,
yeah.
Or
okay.
you could do like 4 multiple sets, so all the winners get paired up at some point.
Oh, that's a good idea too.
Yeah, have a bracket.
Yeah, if you're interested, keep your eyes out on Discord or keep listening, and we'll tell you how to do that. But there will definitely be a sign-up sheet where you can sign up. And yeah, it might be something that would help if I'm probably going to stream it, and it might be something where you would have to watch the stream as well, just so I can pull up the questions and you can see them, you can read them as well. I got to work with the logistics, but
you just like type it out in chat. We'd figure it out, though.
Yeah, exactly. And anyways, moving on to the next thing, Deegan, this weekend you had your big raid event where it was just a mass raid with people in the clan chat.
Yep.
I wasn't able to make it. I tried to, but I just lost track of time, and it doesn't matter. But But I heard a good reception. Heard a lot of people had fun.
Yep.
It's good.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was very hectic. I scouted shamans. Very purposely.
How many people showed up?
There was 12 people.
Okay, that's a big
so it
number.
wasn't too bad. But a 12-man free-for-all shit fest of a shaman room was pretty fun. A lot of people died a lot.
Yeah, it's funny.
And then when we were fighting Olm, I got lit on fire, and I saw everyone at the melee hand, and I'm just like, no one's looking. And I just went and lit everyone on fire, and I'm like,
Nice.
yeah, fuck you guys. We're not getting loot this raid.
That's funny. So yeah, that seems like fun. Maybe we'll do another one in the future. We'll have to see, though. And yeah, if you guys want to get in contact with us or hang out with us in-game, you can do that at WildCC. Our Facebook is facebook.com/The Wilderness Podcast. Our Twitter is @TheWildernessRS. And our email is thewildernesspodcast@gmail.com. And Deegan, you got your things there.
Twitch and Twitter, DeganRS.
That's right. Our Discord is linked on Twitter and Facebook, or you can let one of us know and we'll get you a link as well. Our song of the week is randomly selected, going to be Barking Mad. It's a music track that is unlocked in the Werewolf Agility course, and it was composed by Ian Taylor on January 31st, 2005.
Mm-hmm.
Barking Mad. That's what inspired Breaking Bad.
Probably.
Cool.
Hey, you gotta fetch sticks? It's on the roof. Maybe that's where... that's already a meme, never mind.
What was it?
I was gonna say the graceful marks of grace be on the rooftops, Breaking Bad with the pizza. I was gonna make a joke like that with the sticks, but I'm like, that's already a meme on rooftop agility courses.
It's been done.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think it's about time to get out of here. This whole daylight savings thing that happened on the weekend screwed everything up. I'm so exhausted. It's unreal. I lost an hour of sleep, but I didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
Probably could have. So let's get on out of here. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Till next week when we hit 125. Cool.
Nice. Number. Yeah.
We're almost at max level, boys.
Yep.
And girls. All right. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Yeah. Have a good one.